And here we go, yet again, back in the building. As the New York Knicks are back in action after 2 days off. They had the weekend off. They gave them a nice, solid Easter weekend. But because of that, they are now on the road for their final road game of the season. The Knicks are indeed 21-19 on the road. So, however this turns out, they will end up with a winning record on the road, even if it is by one game. But nonetheless, they have a tough matchup here as they wind down their regular season at the Atlanta Hawks here tonight. Let's go ahead, let's break it down, let's start the show, and let's talk about all of the nitty-gritty that we got to get through. Let's do it. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We are indeed back in the building, ready to go with yet another New York Knicks game here tonight. It should be a fun one. The New York Knicks, crazy stat, but I know we've all been complaining about it, have yet to pick up a victory against a team over 500 as of yesterday in over a month. It has been, as of yesterday, exactly a month since the New York Knicks beat a quality opponent, right? They had that 7-game winning streak, all 7 games in a row. It was a nice soft spot in the schedule, came against lower-tiered teams, under 500 teams. Yeah, that happens. Every team kind of usually has a stretch like that. The Knicks took full advantage of it and won all 7. It's exactly what you want to see. But then they followed it up with a 3-game losing streak coming against 3 really quality opponents. In the first, it was the Charlotte Hornets, in which it was not a good performance. They got killed on the glass, and the Knicks are one of the best rebounding teams in the league, and that just can't happen. That can't happen. And then they went to OKC, in which it was a close game for the most part, but OKC and SGA ended up pulling away at the end, ended up being a double-figure game. And then you went down to Houston and had an absolute embarrassment, got pantsed on national television. It was not a good night. And then you went back to playing the dregs of the league, and you played the Memphis Grizzlies, and you ended up beating them. Yes, no Jalen Brunson in that one. And then the following game, we ended up playing, I don't even really remember. Who did we play? Can't remember. But it was no, I'm really trying to think. It was no Karl Anthony Towns in that one. It was Chicago, and it was no Karl Anthony Towns, and the Knicks absolutely brutalized Chicago that night. And that's great. That's awesome. Cool. Incredible. We love to see that. You're beating up on the teams you're supposed to beat up on. But the final 4 games of the regular season here, an important final 4 games of the regular season for the Knicks, is it will be a make-or-break moment of whether or not they actually hold on to this 3 seed. It's not out of the realm of possibility. They are not mathematically eliminated away from the 2 seed. They could get the 2 seed, but they are not in control of their own destiny. They would have to hope for a Boston Celtics slide, which is possible but unlikely. So really what we're looking for is for the New York Knicks to hold on to this 3 seed for dear life. And we have a game against the Hawks, a game against the Charlotte Hornets again. We have a game against the Boston Celtics. And what's the last game we have? Either way, we have a couple of Toronto. We have a couple of really tough games here down the stretch. Playoff quality teams right here. Really high quality teams. The Hawks, one of the hottest teams in the league. We know what the Boston Celtics are capable of. The Toronto Raptors playing decent basketball as of late, although the Knicks have pretty much owned that matchup this season. But you know they're going to be looking for some semblance of revenge in that matchup, so that's not going to be an easy one. And then obviously you end the season looking for some kind of revenge yourself against the Charlotte Hornets after they embarrassed you the last time you guys played, beating you up on the glass. And that is the final game of the regular season. And so the Knicks have their hands full. In order to ensure that they go 3-1, they control their own destiny to keep the 3 seed. Meaning that as long as they win out their games, there's nothing Cleveland can do to catch them, right? At worst, the Knicks need to go 3-1 in order to maintain the 3 seed. If they lose any more than 1 game during this 4-game stretch, if they go 500 and it ends up being 2-2, then they would have to hope that Cleveland loses one of their games as well. And you don't really want to be in a situation where you're now hoping for another team to lose in order for you to maintain your position, right? So, and the Cleveland Cavaliers have a really nice, easy schedule to end the season, while the Knicks do not. So you need to go 3-1 in this final 4-game stretch, and not only to maintain the 3 seed, but in order to instill confidence in not just the fan base, but in this team itself. Man, does it feel like whenever they play higher tier teams, whether they're in the games or not, it feels like they're going to give it up at the end, whether or not it's a close game or not. And so you need the New York Knicks to instill some confidence into themselves and into this fan base throughout the rest of the roster, within the organization, in the front office. Everybody needs the New York Knicks to perform well here tonight and moving forward for the final 4 games of the season. It is incredibly important for the Knicks to be able to pull this off. Like I said, Hawks, Toronto, Boston, then Charlotte. You gotta show up. You gotta not just show up. You gotta give us impressive performances here down the stretch. Oda Austin, what's up, Oda? Slatnas, what's up, Slatnas? David Oz Jr., what's up, David? Cash, what's up, Cash? Zane, as always, what's up, Zane? Justice Dad, trapped in the 90s. Rafael Torres, appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys. Justice Dad, Karen, of course. What's up, Karen? Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Let's get ahead. Slatnas said, who do you have winning? The New York Knicks, brother, of course. I have to have the New York Knicks winning. He said, put up a poll. We don't need a poll, brother. We don't need a poll. Let's start where we always start. Where we always start. It's with the captain, Jalen Brunson. We are at the final stretch of the season. I don't think we need to necessarily break down where they're at right now in the season because we know what they're capable of. We just need these guys to play to their quality here. Here's the funny thing. I saw a stat here earlier today as I was preparing for the show. Jalen Brunson, over the course of the month of March, averaged 24 points and 9 assists. And a large portion, maybe not a large portion, a very loud minority portion of the fan base was getting on Jalen Brunson as if he was playing awful. And yes, the efficiency was slightly down, and yes, we know he can play better. But the fact that he was averaging 24 points and 9 assists, and a collective group of Knicks fans were like, yup, Jalen Brunson's the problem here. And it's like, we are at that point, Jalen Brunson's at that point in his Knicks tenure, in his Knicks career, where very good is no longer good enough. We're looking for great. We're looking for spectacular. We're looking for MVP level form from your star players. And Jalen Brunson's just been very good. And he hasn't been spectacular. He hasn't been awesome. He's just been very good. And so we need here tonight and moving forward for the rest of the regular season here to see our guys, Jalen Brunson, not just Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, our 2 stars to be spectacular. Right? And it doesn't have to be every single night, but we need to see spectacular performances from these 2 guys, maybe even in tandem, where it feels like if one guy's got to go, and the other guy's going to struggle. And if the other guy's got to go, then the other guy's going to struggle. And there's a large conversation sort of brewing here about how these 2 guys don't fit. And I don't think that's the issue. Because you guys have heard me. Spark, what's up, Spark? Solid test tonight. Need the Knicks to keep those Hawks from getting another win, for sure. There's been this conversation brewing in Knicks fandom about how Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson just don't fit together. It's clear. It's clear as day they don't fit together. And I just completely, fundamentally disagree with that. Joseph, what's up, Joseph? Eric, what's up, Eric? And that's mostly because when you do evaluate the lineup data, which is something a lot of people have begun to reference, was like, well, the Jalen Brunson plays better when Karl Anthony Towns isn't on the court, and Karl Anthony Towns plays better when Jalen Brunson's not on the court. And the reason that is the case is because usually when Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns are on the court together, it's in tandem with the appearance of Josh Hart also in the lineup. And we know fundamentally that lineups of Josh Hart and Karl Anthony Towns really don't work, mostly because teams will employ their center on Josh Hart and allow wings to guard Karl Anthony Towns. Now, Karl Anthony Towns usually can punish wings, in particular if Josh Hart and Karl Anthony Towns are on the court together, because usually, and Jalen Brunson on the bench, usually that means they're going up against backup units. YOLO, what's up, YOLO? End of days, what's up, end of days? The Knicks can't get past Detroit or Celtics, and that's what the playoffs are for, brother. Joseph said there, our Hawk Stadium, I'm kind of nervous for this matchup. It's just another matchup, brother. We got it. We got it. Cash said, where is the mic? The mic will make its appearance when it's time for the mic to make an appearance. But we are going through the pregame rundown, as always. Thomas outing. What's up, Thomas? Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson. He said, I got the Hawks. This is going to be an incredibly close matchup. At least this should. The Hawks starting lineup is one of the best five-man units in the NBA in terms of net rating, and the New York Knicks five-man lineup is one of the most mediocre lineups in the NBA in terms of net rating. They are the Knicks starting five has a net rating of 0.7, while the Hawks net rating, I believe, is over 15. My goodness. Thomas, how you doing? I'm doing good. Thomas, I'm doing good. This should be a very, very fun basketball game, at least. At least. It is in Atlanta, so you could maybe even make the case that Atlanta should have the advantage over the Knicks. As a matter of fact, I can see here on ESPN they have the spread at -1.5 for Atlanta, so everybody's favoring Atlanta right now. It's going to be interesting to see which version of the Knicks show up. Ken Robinson, what's up, Ken? Which version of the Knicks show up here tonight? Is it going to be the kind of version where, again, they're struggling and the starting lineup gets off to a slow start and you're going to need the bench unit to come in and save you? Again, the reason why I reference net rating for the starting lineups, it's not because... it's not for nothing. The reason why I reference it is because the Knicks starting lineup has gotten off to slow starts. One of the biggest issues with this Knicks team is that they've gotten off to these really slow starts. The Atlanta Hawks don't get off to slow starts. As a matter of fact, one of their profound advantages against most teams nowadays is that they get off to really fast starts between Jalen Johnson and CJ McCollum. And Dyson Daniels' defense and Okongwu and his ability to stretch the court. Like, they have options that I don't know the Knicks are necessarily going to be. Nickeil Alexander-Walker's been absolutely hoping. I don't think the Knicks are going to be necessarily... it's going to be easy for the Knicks to necessarily match up against them. And we'll go through that when we get to the Atlanta Hawks side here. Obviously, they've had some roster turnaround this season with the whole Trae Young trade, but it's clearly been for the best at this point. Miss Mar, what's up, Miss Mar? Raymond, what's up, Raymond? Captain Mast, what's up, Captain Mast? Just in the nick of time, hi Chevy, what's up, Captain Mast? Isaiah Garner, what's up, Isaiah Garner? This game is so early. Yes, the game will be tipping off at 7 o'clock, an earlier start time. It is a national TV game. It's on NBC Sports Network. Also on NBC is the Hornets Celtics game? No, that's tomorrow. Hornets Celtics are not playing today, right? No. That's tomorrow. So that's going to be a fun one to game, right? We're going to watch that one tomorrow. We'll check the schedule as we go through the night. Robert, what's up, Robert? From Sergeant Bobby, Knicks 118, Hawks 106. I hope the Knicks can pull this one off for sure. Just that said, we were top 10 power ratings the entire season, too. I mean, the Knicks were the favorite coming into the season to come out of the East. Obviously, as the season transpired, you start to change your opinions and form new opinions about teams and the way they perform and whatnot, about your own team that you follow. But the Knicks were the favorite coming in. And I'm not sure that they've held on to being the favorite coming out of this regular season, but they still have the potential to do so, and it's time for them to show that potential, or else all faith in this Knicks squad will probably be vanished by the time the playoffs start. They got 4 games to prove it to the fan base, right? There's so many people who are already out, and for good reason. For good reason. This Knicks team just has not shown up in the way that a lot of people were expecting them to show up this year. TT in the morning. What's up, TT? Hope the Knicks win for y'all today. My Pistons are on their way to a 60 regular season. 60-win regular season for the Pistons. Absolutely fantastic season. Even in the absence of Cade Cunningham, they did not miss a beat. They went, 6-2, 7-2, something like that. And now the rumors are, the prevailing theory is that Cade Cunningham might come back for the last game or two just to sort of get back in the game action before the playoffs start. But he is rearing to go. He's actually listed as doubtful here today. It was upgraded to doubtful. And he's been on the court doing some basketball workouts. So, Lex, what's up, Lex? Zane said, Knicks going to turn that State Farm Arena into a Popeyes tonight. Nothing would make me happier than the Knicks to come out and really give it to the Atlanta Hawks tonight. But the Hawks are a really, really tough team. One of the hottest teams in the league coming down after the All-Star break here. Isaiah Garner said, anytime I see the Knicks beating in the playoffs, it's just 2 teams I don't want to see in the first round. Absolutely. David Hodge Jr. said the Pistons, real season about to start in the playoff series. Yep. I mean, that is for sure true. But you celebrate when it's time to celebrate, and the Pistons having 60 regular season wins and jogging their way to the finish line because they built up such a lead that they're going to end up with the number 1 seed regardless of how the rest of the season transpires. And they get their star player back. Like, yeah, celebrate that. They got bragging rights up until you play them in the playoffs and we see how that series turns out. But up until that point, you get bragging rights whenever you get the first seed. It just comes with the territory. Kwame Robertson, what's up, Kwame? Ricardo Broadway, what's up, Ricardo? Let's run through the New York Knicks real quickly. OG Anunoby's been playing fantastic as of late. Shout out Jordan Clarkson for healing OG Anunoby's wrist a couple of games ago because he was absolutely in fuego against the Chicago Bulls. Hopefully he brings that shooting and that offensive aggression here tonight against the Atlanta Hawks, an actual good team. We're going to need you to show up, OG, in a big way. And also in a big way because he's probably going to garner the Jalen Johnson matchup here tonight. And Johnson is obviously the head of the snake against or head of the snake for the Atlanta Hawks here. Everything they do comes off of the pressure that Jalen Johnson can put on a defense, as well as obviously Nickeil Alexander-Walker, but we'll get to those guys. Judge that said they beat us 12. They beat us by 12 the day after New Year's, so this might be ugly tonight. We'll see. Mikal Bridges, Mr. Invisible himself, rears his ugly head here today. And again, we're going to need him to show up as well because he'll likely garner the Nickeil Alexander-Walker matchup. And so you need Wingstop in full effect here tonight against the Atlanta Hawks, who are just absolutely blitz teams offensively, putting up pretty consistently like high 30s, even sometimes over 40 points in a quarter. And so the Knicks are going to have to get off to a good defensive start here. Offensively, I don't have faith that they'll get off to a good offensive start. They could, obviously, as long as they knock down their shots, but you need to step up defensively. Bridges, Anunoby, Towns, Brunson, Hart, they're all going to need to be on a string and communicate here down the stretch. And if it's not working early, I need Mike Brown to pull the trigger early in terms of getting some substitutions in the game. But also, it's going to be really important as we start to make our way down the lineup. We get the guys like Josh Hart, who's the Chaos Engine. You guys know my feelings about Josh Hart in the starting lineup. Mike Brown was actually asked about that today, and he said, the plan is to go with the starting lineup. He said, never say never, but I don't see us changing the starting lineup anytime soon. So that's unfortunate to hear, but it's to be expected this late in the season. I highly doubt they would have looked to do that at this point. But, yeah, we just need Josh Hart to shoot the open ones, to make the open ones, to get out and run, to play good, solid defense, and hopefully he's the first sub out of the game early in the game. David Ice Jr. said, what to celebrate for the 1 seed? What do you get? The first round loss. Well, up until that happens, you have bragging rights. Up until you actually lose, you have bragging rights because you had the most successful regular season. Judge that's Nickeil Alexander-Walker, SGA's cousin. I hear that right? He is indeed. They are cousins. Raymond said Towns does have an elbow injury. He was listed as questionable the other day. The Knicks injury report is clean here today, though. I'm sure he's dealing with something. He is not on the injury report here today, though. Just as Brunson, just as Hart, just as McBride is still dealing with the abdomen injury where he's hurting a little bit, and he said that he knew, the doctors informed him, like, you're going to be dealing with discomfort and pain a little bit from that surgery. Like, you're not 100% healed, but you're ready to go and you can play basketball and you likely won't make it any worse, but you will still feel the pain. So everybody at this point in the regular season, as we wind it down and we get ready for the playoff run, is dealing with something. Obviously, the main goal of these Final Four games is obviously to go at least 3-1, but also you want to make sure that your team is as healthy as possible going into the playoffs. One Magic fan, what's up, Magic fan? Hawks 120, Knicks 100. Knicks only scoring 100 would be a pretty disastrous outcome. Nick Yag, what's up, Yag? This is another game we need to win, absolutely. I mean, all 4 of these final games, you can make the argument that these are pretty must-win games for the Knicks in order to maintain this 3 seed right now. And we have Mitchell Robinson. I think a lot of people are kind of on the bandwagon right now. The Mitchell Robinson's just flat out the 5th best player on this team and should be the starter next to Karl Anthony Towns and Anunoby and Bridges and Brunson, obviously. We are not getting that. We saw him as the starter when Karl Anthony Towns sat out the Chicago game with the elbow injury that was referenced earlier by Raymond. We saw Mitchell Robinson start. Now, look, granted, they were starting Kershawn Yabusele at center. They didn't have another big that they brought in off the bench. So Mitchell Robinson was just kind of free to do whatever he wanted. He caught lobs. He snagged a million offensive rebounds. He did Mitchell Robinson things out there. It's not necessarily going to be the case against this Hawks team. Okongwu's a good center. Jalen Johnson's big. They have bigs coming off the bench, although their backup big, Jock Landale, is out. Both teams healthy outside of the Landale injury after he got hammered on a flagrant foul by Bataze the other day. He's out with the injury, but outside of that, The Atlanta Hawks have more than enough size to throw at the New York Knicks to keep up with them. Not a ton of size. Again, Okongwu will go through it. Not the biggest center in the world, can sometimes get outbigged in the paint. Ian Parkins, what's up, Ian? I'll be looking to see how prepared Brown has his team this game. This is an important game. Preparedness, yes. I don't even care about the preparedness conversation until Josh Hart is out of the starting lineup, because I don't think he fundamentally works synergy-wise with the other four players. So to me, it's not even about being prepared. It's about how quickly will Mike Brown pivot when ultimately the starting lineup does not get off to a yet another good start. Mr. T-Mac, what's up, T-Mac? Knicks fans are so focused on the Pistons and Michigan dominating the Final Four, they forgot their own team sucks this year. We'll see you in the playoffs at some point, brother. Bernard Johnson. What's up, Bernard Johnson? Mitchell Robinson will be coming off the bench as usual. We've played our last back-to-back for sure. I'm pretty sure. Let me double check that. But we have played our last back-to-back, so Mitchell Robinson will be playing the remainder of the regular season, Monday, Thursday. Nope, we have one more back-to-back. Boston and Toronto. Why? Why? Can we spread these games out a little bit? We have 2 days off between Monday. We have no game Tuesday, no game Wednesday, and then we have a game on Thursday. We couldn't have just done every other day and got rid of the Boston-Toronto back-to-back game? Why? Adam Fantano, what's up, Adam? David said Pistons trolls here. I mean, the Pistons trolls don't troll nearly as well as the other team's trolls. You know, it's very easy for them. They come in, they say something slimy, and then they leave, usually. Nick Yak said, Mitch always plays good against the Hawks. He owned Capella. He usually played really, really well against Capella. It's going to be interesting to see how he matches up with guys like Okongwu. I'm going to be interested to see. We'll go through their roster after we get through their rotation here. It's going to be interesting to see who their backup big is. It had been Jock Landale, and it also allowed them to remain as a 5-out spacing team. With Okongwu can step out and hit a three, and then Landale can step out and hit a three. So Robinson should be getting a bit of a boost with no Landale out there, because we know he can sometimes struggle against perimeter-based bigs. Doing too much. What's up, doing too much? Let's get this dub today. We got this. Absolutely. Raymond, appreciate you, brother. Paul Mateo, what's up, Paul? Let's go Knicks. Playoffs are on the way, brother. David Ice Jr. said, weather getting nice, the trolls are out. They made it out of the basement. They're crawling out of their basement with the sun coming out finally. Paul said, let's blast Atlanta 3 seed against the 6 seed. Well, Atlanta's the 5 seed right now. And they're pretty solidly in the 5 seed. Obviously, they could still drop down if they lose too many games down the stretch here, but they're pretty solidly as the 5 seed right now. Let's run through the rest of the Knicks rotation. Deuce McBride is back. He hasn't played great since coming back from the injury, but we knew that was likely going to happen. We want to utilize these last 4 games to, one, kind of get into rhythm of what our playoff rotation might look like, but also get a guy like Deuce McBride in rhythm as well. Karen said, hey, I don't say anything slimy. Well, you're not a troll, Karen. You're not a troll. Not at all. Not at all. It's only the trolls. You could be fans of other teams. We got fans of other teams in the chat all the time. At some point, my guy Suns Jen will be in the chat. He's a Suns fan. He's not a troll either. You don't have to be a fan of the Knicks to not be a troll, you know? Recovery Grind, what's up, Recovery? Atlanta can beat anyone, absolutely. I don't see a weakness. Good luck to your Knicks. I don't know what the weakness is necessarily for Atlanta, depending on how Okongwu we'll get to the Atlanta Hawks rotation. We'll break them down as we always do. But the Atlanta Hawks can sometimes deal with size down low. They want physicality. They don't necessarily want quickness and speed from bigs going up against them. But sometimes Okongwu can struggle on the glass against bigger size players, because we'll go through it. They're not super big down low. Deuce McBride, again, we got to get him back in rhythm, back to where he was previously, where he was knocking down like 2 threes a game, shooting it at a 40% clip, 2 to 3 threes a game. Very vital to this Knicks team, as well as Landry Shamet, who's coming back from injury as well. Landry Shamet and Deuce McBride off the bench at the same time. Suns Jen, there he is. Appreciate you, Suns Jen. And I hope the Knicks kick the Hawks up one side and down the other. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Landry Shamet, just like Deuce McBride, coming back from an injury, a knee injury, getting him back in rhythm. He's been shooting it pretty well since coming back from the knee injury, whereas before the knee injury, he was really, really struggling from three-point range. But like OG Anunoby, sat out a couple of games, got much healthier and whatnot, and he's been shooting it much better. Now time to get Deuce McBride going as well. Nick Yak said, I think we have a big game by our centers. We are absolutely going to need it. Both Karl-Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson absolutely need to show up here tonight. Jose Alvarado did not play against the Chicago Bulls. Mike Brown alluded that it could possibly be that he might be out of the playoff rotation when push comes to shove. If they go to a 9-man rotation, we know the 5 starters, and then you have Mitchell Robinson. Hold on. Then you have Mitchell Robinson, you have Deuce McBride, you have Landry Shamet as your top 8, and then who do you go to off the bench? For your 9th man, which will likely be a 9-man rotation, do you go to another small guard like Jose Alvarado and size everybody else up? McBride to the 2, Landry Shamet to the 3. That makes you incredibly small off your bench, and you're really reliant on Mitchell Robinson to shore up your defense and your size down low. Adam Hurley, what's up, Adam? Let's face it, guys. The Knicks aren't gonna be fake contenders again this year. We will see, brother. That's what the playoffs are for. Greg Williams, what's up, Greg? Thanks, Sheffy, for covering the Knicks game. As always, brother, as always. So, Jose Alvarado, do you go with Jose Alvarado? Do you go with Mo Diawara? Both of these guys have had good games and also not very good games as well. But you clearly need a little bit more size. Mo Diawara, I think, showed more than enough in very high-key games against really solid teams. San Antonio Spurs, I thought he was decent against the Thunder earlier this season. He's had games where he's been impactful against really good teams. And so I could definitely see, Zane said I'd go Pacom, honestly. Shout out Pacom Daddy. Ian Parkin said Mo should be the 9th man off the bench. Yeah, and he's also has the size that you will be lacking, especially once you pull an Anunoby or Bridges, and likely both of those guys off the court at some point. The Knicks are already not a very big team, and so putting a guy like Mo Diawara in as the 9th man, it could also be matchup dependent. Depends who you are playing in that playoff series, who you go with. Maybe you could get away with going small on Jose Alvarado. Maybe you need to lean more big with a Mo Diawara. Maybe you can go to a Jeremy Sohan if you need to lean more to a small ball lineup with Sohan being the backup center, and maybe you move Mitchell Robinson to start lineup. I hope Mike Brown is adjustable to what he's doing with his rotation come playoff time, in terms of maybe it's better to start Mitchell Robinson over Josh Hart for a certain playoff series. Maybe it's better to use Jeremy Sohan over Diawara. Maybe it's better to use Diawara over Alvarado. Maybe it's better to use Alvarado over the other two. I just hope that we are flexible come playoff time from the coaching staff this season. David said Sohan gave us good pick and roll defense. He does. But again, if it's sinking your offense entirely, it might not be worth it at the end. I've always described Sohan when he came to the Knicks as a situational player only, and so far he's proven me right. I would like to see a little bit more offensive upside before we really start having a Sohan should be a part of the rotation conversation. But in certain situations, it might be better to go Sohan, depending on the matchups, right? Mr. T-Mac said, I admit I throw a slimy comment here and there. LOL, all in fun in the rivalry. Appreciate you, Mr. T-Mac. Nick Yak said, Sohan just had a nice game and a better rebounder and defender. Yeah, but also because they used him as the small ball 5. They used him as the center. I don't think he works as a power forward. Unless he's playing with a stretch center like Towns. That could work in some instances. But they didn't really try that at all when they were giving him minutes earlier in the season when they first signed him. Skomberg, what's up, Skomberg? Susan, what's up, Susan? Hector Ramos, what's up, Hector? They just haven't really experimented with Jeremy Sohan in that regard at all. Again, he's situational, and if the situation arises, I fully expect Mike Brown to be able to be adjustable. I might be huffing some cope here, but I fully expect Mike Brown to be adjustable, and if the situation calls for Jeremy Sohan, go to Jeremy Sohan. Nick Yak said, we better play Sohan if we are going to use him in the playoffs. I don't know if they will. I think that's the thing. Again, he played center for the Knicks when they played Chicago. Mostly because Chicago didn't have a backup big, and so they could play Jeremy Sohan as the small ball 5, and it worked out for them. I don't know if he works in any other position on the court with any other players outside of maybe Karl-Anthony Towns alongside him, so they don't crowd the paint and they continue to keep the pacing, because he is he does have good feel for the game offensively. He just doesn't have a ton of skill on that end. He's not a great finisher. He can't really score outside of the paint. The jump shot's completely broken, and so he's not much of a threat. And if that's the case, he's shrinking the court for you. But if you have 5 shooters out there, if you play him alongside a Karl-Anthony Towns and you provide enough shooting around them, a McBride, a Shamet, a Brunson, or whoever, a Bridges, an Anunoby, whoever fills out the rest of the rotation, maybe that could work. But again, those were things we should have ironed out during the regular season, and we just really did not. Skonberg said, we thought of getting Ben Simmons, and we eventually got Ben Simmons, which is Jeremy Zohan. Kind of. Yeah, pretty much. Nick Yak said, we might need him against Detroit. He needs some minutes these last few games. I don't know if they need him against Detroit. It could help, but again, they didn't really experiment with him. He's been on the roster for a month and a half now, right? And they haven't really tried to use him in these situations. Lano Mono does Oblano. The playoffs is not really the situation in which I want Jeremy Sohan being experimented with at that point. And maybe it'll work out the same similar way it did last year when they experimented during the playoffs, but can't really rely on that 2 years in a row, I think. Suns Gen said, seriously, if you're not healthy, you're not getting, you've got nothing. Yeah, health is the number one priority. Also, Jordan Clarkson has been playing his butt off, and it's seemingly like Mike Brown is very comfortable with using him as the 9th man in this rotation. I don't know if Mike Brown is going to just pull him out of the rotation in favor of a guy like Bo Diawara or maybe even like a guy like Alvarado, because Jordan Clarkson's been that good for this team, especially as of late, due to Daly with the due to Daly. So I could definitely see the 9-man rotation being the starting 5, Mitchell Robinson, Deuce McBride, Landry Shamet, and Jordan Clarkson, which makes you incredibly small off the bench. Again, very reliant on Mitchell Robinson, shoring things up and utilizing your bench guards alongside of some of your starting wings like Bridges, Hart, and Anunoby. You're probably going to need at least one of them on the court at all times. Tay Cowboys, what's up, Tay? Eamon Ovis, what's up, Eamon? Skonberg said, let's talk Mo Diawara better than Sohan. We absolutely, brother. That's why he's ahead of him in the breakdown. But it seems like Jordan Clarkson, I might need to move him up because after he was relegated out of the rotation for a while there and they were leaning more towards Mo Diawara, he is back in the rotation. He's been very good in the rotation. So I don't really want to take too much away from Jordan Clarkson because if they do end up going with him, he definitely would have deserved that spot for sure. Nate Gaxley, we got a wood by Detroit. Size here might need to play. They also did not play well in those games. In all 3 of those games, they shot like garbage, and the Detroit Pistons shot fantastically. So it might also be a bit of a shooting variance thing where the Knicks might be more reliant using their regular rotation and just saying, we'll play better overall, and that'll be a closer game, and then maybe we can take it at the end. But yeah. Size might be an issue against Detroit. Strength might be an issue. Defense might be an issue. But these are all things that they could have tried to experiment with in the regular season, but those games were so heavily towards the Detroit side that it's tough to predict how that series is going to go. Obviously, Detroit is going to be favored going into it, as they should be. Eric C. with the Eric. Knicks need this dub. We can and should clip their wings, hopefully. Lano said, let's finish the regular season strong. They need to. Doing too much. What's up, doing too much? Let's get this dub today. We got this. Absolutely, brother. Game's about to start. Yes, sir. Tyler Kolek, he's on the outside looking in. He's not above Clarkson. He's not above Alvarado. He's obviously not above McBride or Shamet. So, Tyler Kolek, shout him out. He had a nice season, showed some things. But real quick, let's go through the Atlanta Hawks. We've been doing this consistently, talking too much about our New York Knicks. But Jalen Johnson, awesome year, incredible year, the head of the snake here. He flirts with the triple-double every single night. And so OG Anunoby tonight has his hands full. He will be the primary matchup for Jalen Johnson. And it's going to be a tough one because the second guy is Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who's had a phenomenal year, over 20 points per game, up almost 11 points per game from last year where he was averaging around 9 for the Minnesota Timberwolves, as you can see. And then coming over to Atlanta, he should win most improved player. I mean, to jump from under 10 to over 20 is an insane year. The three-point shooting has been there. The off-the-dribble three-point shooting has been there. The confidence is soaring out of the building right now. It has been incredibly impressive. Hoobien with the Hoobien. Incredibly impressive season from Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And I've seen him do it against some of the best teams in the league. And so the New York Knicks are going to have their handful. Mikal Bridges is going to have his handful here today. And we have talked about in the pregame here earlier, Mikal Bridges, Mr. Invisible, needs to show up today and be very visible against this Hawks team. Aisha with the Bahisha. David Ash Jr. said OG over 20 points. We're going to be unbeatable. I've been saying for a while, he needs to be the third. And when he's the third, it's it's incredibly difficult to beat the Knicks. Duda Daly said the Knicks rely on structured defense and steady scoring from Brunson, which makes him tough to beat when they dictate the pace. And they need to dictate the pace. And we've talked about the Knicks being reactive to teams and defenses instead of dictating the game pace or dictating the way the game goes. CJ McCollum, a lot of people, including myself, mocked the Trae Young trade and being like, wow, the only thing we got back was old man CJ McCollum, but he has been absolutely fantastic for a team that needed a go-to confident scorer, and CJ McCollum has brought them that for sure in spades. As well as another ball handler outside of Nickeil Alexander-Walker who can handle the ball, but is a bit iffy. Same with Dyson Daniels. The offense has fallen off a cliff for Dyson Daniels, but he's still a premier defensive player, which is why Jalen Brunson is going to have his handfuls here tonight going up against Daniels. They're probably going to have to lean more towards a Karl-Anthony Towns and OG Anunoby night if they want to get past this Atlanta Hawks team here today. Onyeka Okongwu can spread it out to three-point range. So the Knicks, playing a five-out team, is going to be tough for them to match up entirely here tonight, and so their defense, which has been good, especially post-All-Star break, but we've seen them falter against really good high-caliber teams. They need to show up here today. There's been a lot of talk of the Knicks showing up defensively, and so you need to see them show up against a red-hot Atlanta Hawks offense here tonight. Corey Kispert adds another dynamic as one of the best three-point shooting wings off the bench this season for the Atlanta Hawks. He really struggled when he was with the Washington Wizards, and obviously that's because the Wizards have been an abject disaster this year, but with the Atlanta Hawks, he gets much better looks and is obviously on a much better team, and where his movement and shooting play a huge role into getting other guys going, if not even himself going. Zachary Ricochet, a disappointment of a first overall pick, not showing any level of improvement this season in comparison to last season. As a matter of fact, it's looking like maybe he's taking a step back, and it's been really disappointing. Now, he is big, he's got a ton of size, but I don't think the Knicks are going to be too concerned with Zachary Ricochet here tonight. As a matter of fact, they might be happy whenever they see him out on the court. That's going to wrap up our Atlanta Hawks breakdowns. We're going to get ready for the jump ball here, but something I do want to take a quick look at is the Atlanta Hawks roster, because with no Jock Landale, who's their backup center, they have Tony Bradley, they have Mohamed Gay, they do got Ray J. Dennis. Shout out Ray J. Dennis. They got Mohamed Gay. They have Christian Koloko they can go to. I forgot Kuminga. They also have Jonathan Kuminga. Probably should have threw him in the pregame rundown as well over Zachary Ricochet, but they have Jonathan Kuminga the Knicks are going to have to contend with size and strength-wise, so you might want to see a little bit of Mo Diawara here tonight just to compete size-wise. Maybe even a Jeremy Sohan. We'll see where they go. No Jock Landale, who has been their backup center, and so those are kind of your options here. Kuminga as a small ball five, Koloko as a young big, or Mohamed Gay, even though he has the slender size. He does have the height at around 6'10", 6'11", in order to play center. They also have Tony Bradley, who was solid for the Indiana Pacers last year, but here we go. We know the starting five for each team. Both of them have their starting fives healthy. Here we go. And we are off and running. Fear the Deer. What's up, Fear the Deer? Kuminga is back up. He is indeed. Suns Gen said, I don't have any next year, but I can put on my Sheffy hat in support. Appreciate you, Suns Gen. Appreciate you. All right, here we go. Jump ball. The Knicks have not been winning the jump balls as of late, and they continue to lose the jump balls. Karl-Anthony Towns got no verticality to him anymore. I don't know if it's an age thing or a health thing or what, but CJ McCollum has it on the left wing, gets it over to Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Walker up top, swings through to his right, gets it over to Daniels. Daniels on the right wing. Gets it over to McCollum, curling off a screen, being guarded by Brunson, down the lane, throws up a floater, comes up short, battle for the loose ball rebound, knocked out of the air, still battling for it. Anunoby has it, tries to throw the outlet pass to Jalen Brunson. McCollum picks it off at the three-point line, just catches it, stops, fires straight away, and knocks it down for the first basket of the game. Knicks came up with a nice defensive stop, but then gave it right back to them. Come on, New York. Anunoby gets it over to Towns, up top, Towns in the high post, fakes the handoff, keeps it, and great denial defense from Jalen Johnson. Towns tries to throw a bullet pass to Mikal Bridges, cutting back door, and it is off, and a turnover for the New York Knicks. Great denial defense on the Hawks from Jalen Brunson. Brunson could not get the ball from Towns. Karl-Anthony Towns wearing the arm sleeve on the right arm. We know he was out the other day with an elbow injury, so that's not great. And seeing him wearing the arm sleeve gives validity to it being an injury and not really just rest. McCollum has it, dancing with it against Josh Hart, former teammates. They hand it off to Okongwu down the lane, spins off of him in the paint, lefty layup. Got it to go for Okongwu, a beautiful move. Got to finish, made the move past Josh Hart and got to finish over OG Anunoby. It's a 5-0 start. They go over to Towns up top. He's going to stop and pop the straightaway three. Knock me down. Karl Anthony Towns is the trailer. I love to see him confidently take three-point shots like that in rhythm in the offense. Towns is guarding Dyson Daniels. Interesting matchup. They got Towns on Dyson Daniels. They got Josh Hart on Okongwu. Catches it down low and gets fouled by Josh Hart. Josh Hart, not great. Not great at guarding centers, typically. Because he's not a very good rim protector. But interesting that Mike Brown is experimenting with the matchups here tonight. I kind of like it. End of days with the bend of days. Let's go, Hawks. Appreciate you, end of days. Chaos Kid. What's up, Chaos Kid? 10:25 to go here. Kongu's at the foul line for two. Kongu knocks down the first one. The broadcast just talked about how Kongu's just 6'8". I did not realize he was that small. I thought he was like 6'9", 6'10". Definitely need to develop that three-point shot for Okongwu this season. And he does knock down both free throws. 3-7. Here we go. Bridges has it up top, being guarded by Alexander Walker, who's an excellent perimeter defender. They get over to Brunson, into Towns in the high post. Hits Bridges, cutting back door. Two-handed slam from Mikal Bridges. Great set for the New York Knicks, and Bridges gets hit back door by Towns. And CJ McCollum bringing it down against Towns. Interesting that we have Towns guarding perimeter players here. They kick it out. Jalen Johnson, a straightaway three over Josh Hart. Got it to go for Jalen Johnson. A confident-looking shot from him over Josh Hart. And we are under 10 minutes to go. It's 10-5. The Atlanta Hawks have 2 for 2 from three. Towns has it up top. Gets it over to Bridges on the right wing, being guarded by Johnson. Bridges coming to his left. Kicks it up top to Anunoby. He's going to spot it for a three. And OG Anunoby's going to splash from three. Both teams 2 for 2 from three-point range. Back and forth these two teams go. Johnson up top gets it over to Daniels. Back to Johnson. Johnson swings through to his left. Down the lane, leans in. Tried to throw the interior pass to Dyson Daniels. Ends up in a turnover, and the ball is going to go back to the Knicks. Nice defense from the Knicks there. Not a good pass from Johnson. James Sumler, what's up, James? Towns up top gets it over to Anunoby. Anunoby gets it over to Brunson, being guarded by Alexander Walker. Brunson swings through to his right, crosses over to his left, dancing around the Towns screen, slip past the Towns, inside past the Bridges, two-handed slam. What a great start for the New York Knicks. I was not confident in the start, and the start is not over. We're only 3 minutes into the game, but we've seen the Knicks get off to significantly worse starts. McCollum down the lane, layup over Josh Hart, can't get it to go, rebound to Towns, quick outlet to Brunson. Brunson pushing the pace, and he throws a bad pass out of bounds. It's going to go back to the Hawks. What pass was that, Jalen Brunson? What pass was that? Johnson bringing it down. Gets it over to Okongwu, back to Johnson. Another wide open three. Josh Hart not doing it good. He's daring him to shoot it. Doesn't get in. A loose ball foul on Bridges. Trying to box out Alexander Walker there. Hoobian. Nice neck time, brother. Looking fly. Appreciate you, Hoobian. Appreciate you, brother. We gotta start getting our fits ready for the playoffs, man. We bringing in the full Clyde. Karl Anthony Towns jumps the passing lanes, bringing it down, but he couldn't keep possession. It goes out of bounds, and Towns very upset. He wanted the foul call on Dyson Daniels there, who was hounding him full court after the steal. See the replay on it? It's a lot of contact, but not enough to call a foul in my estimation. CJ McCollum keeps his Nastrable alive, goes under the basket, keeps it alive, swings it out to Johnson. Johnson being guarded by Hart, back up top to McCollum, coming to his right of the screen, now over to Johnson, coming to his left, leans in, step back, pump fake, steps through, floater, can't get it to go. Towns skies for a rebound. Karl Anthony Towns looking spry and active here tonight. I like it. He looks good. Brunson up top. Brunson crosses over, gets all the way to the paint, leans in, and draws a foul. Is he okay? Did he roll an ankle? He's going to pop back up. He's not in pain, but he pops up on his feet. He's hunched over. I don't want to see it. All right. He stepped on somebody's foot. And he's hurting a little bit, but he didn't fully roll the ankle, so that's a good sign. 30s TTV, what's up 30s? Need a strong game from OG tonight. I mean, he's already knocked down a 3, so that's a good sign. OG Anunoby knocking down his shots is always a good sign for the Knicks. PK, what's up PK? PKOTV, my guy. Jesus, what's up Jesus? Who's hurt? Nobody's hurt yet. Jalen Brunson took a hard fall. Actually, I hope nobody ends up hurt. I said nobody's hurt yet, as if I'm prepared for somebody to be hurt. I hope everybody leaves this game healthy. Brunson misses the first free throw. Ahmed, what's up, Ahmed? Just that's at 3 turnovers and still tied. Brunson knocks down the second free throw. At least it's 11-10. All right, we'll take it. We'll take it. I'll give him a bit. I'll cut him a little bit of slack there because he took a hard fall. Johnson up top being guarded by Hart, coming to his left. I thought they would put an Anunoby on him. They have not. Put an Anunoby on Okongwu now. Alexander Walker slips it over to Johnson down the lane. Johnson can't get the first layup to go. Gets his own offensive rebound. Can't get the second layup to go. Johnson looking for the foul. They're not giving it to him. Brunson bringing it down the other way. Great defense from Anunoby. And then from Towns to defend Johnson in the paint. Brunson up top being guarded by Alexander Walker. Brunson coming to his left off the Towns screen. Now coming to his right. Crosses over to his left. Okongwu switched on to a mid-range pull-up jumper. Got it to go from the captain. And I like the start from our New York Knicks here tonight. Under 8 to go. McCollum pushing it the other way. He has it in the left corner being guarded by Brunson. McCollum coming to his right off the Okongwu screen. They get it down low to Okongwu, but he gets grabbed and fouled by Jalen Brunson. Johnny D, what's up, Johnny? Fear the Deer said, are you doing an NBA game tomorrow? Yes, indeed, brother. We do NBA games every single day. 6 days a week. We try to take one day off, but 6 days a week. PK said, like for Sheffy. Appreciate you, PK. If you guys are enjoying the show so far, hit the like button. I'd very much appreciate it. It is by far the best thing you can do to show support to the community. McBride is in the game. He comes in for Mikal Bridges. Brunson guarding McCollum up top to get over to Johnson, being guarded by Hart. Johnson gets it over to McCollum, curling off the screen, and they call a moving screen on Okongwu. Brunson battling over the screen. And the ball's going to go back to the Knicks here. Technically a turnover. What game tomorrow? We'll go over it for the Deer as the night goes on. Brunson bringing it down the other way. He's being guarded by Daniels. Brunson up top. 4 turnovers for the Knicks, now 3 turnovers for the Hawks. Brunson up top being guarded by McCollum. Brunson over to Josh Hart, left wing, catches, pump fakes, takes the lane in the paint, kicks it out to McBride on the right wing. Driving to his left, hands it back out to Josh Hart. Josh Hart coming to his right, crosses over, step back, puts up the 3 with the shot clock winding down, can't get it to go, long rebound. Daniels able to pick it up, quick outlet to Johnson. Johnson being guarded by McBride. He's got the size advantage to kick it over to Alexander Walker. Now over to Okongwu. Hands it off to McCollum. Coming to his left. Blows past Anunoby. Mid-range pull-up jumper. Can't get it to go. Towns a rebound. Quick outlet to Hart. Hart pushing it the other way. I like the defensive start from the Knicks so far. They drop it down low to Anunoby, who sealed, who is that? Daniels, I believe, under the rim. And Daniels just forced to kind of grab Anunoby. A foul on the pass down low to him. So it's a foul on the floor. It should be side out of bounds for the New York Knicks. But first, we have a timeout. And uncharacteristically for our New York Knicks, getting off to a nice, hot start so far here tonight. I love it. I love it. It's 13-10. It's a back-and-forth affair for sure, but this is a really good Hawks team, and the Knicks defending them well. Jalen Johnson, 1 for 5 from the field, and CJ McCollum, 1 for 4 is obviously helping. But for the most part, the Knicks have done a really solid job defending them here tonight, making it really tough for these guys to get open looks to begin with. Just that said, 8-0 runs feel good. They do indeed feel very, very good. Eric said, will you be able to do the Spurs-Sixers game tonight? No, this is going to be our only game here tonight. Middle of the season, middle of the week is difficult for me to do double headers just because I got to wake up early in the morning. And then we're going to come back and do more games tomorrow. So it's difficult in the middle of the week to do double headers, which is why we try to do 2 or 3 games during the weekends. But I also got to make sure we're rested and ready to go because we might have to do doubleheaders during the playoffs. We might, it's just going to have to happen. It's just going to have to happen. Student said ball movement is crucial, and the ball is moving. D-Man, what's up, D-Man? The only starter who has yet to score is Josh Hart. Mikal Bridges has scored, Brunson has scored, Towns has scored, Anunoby has scored, and you love to see it. Towns, by the way, 3-3-2 already to start the game is great. It's great. Zoe, what's up, Zoe? Angela Harding with a Angela. Raymond said they're working. The game is looking good. The game is looking good. Knicks working well. Let's look at the league real quick. Look at the NBA slate we have available to us here today. The Magic taking on the Pistons. Obviously, our Knicks-Hawks game going on. The Magic taking on the Pistons. Later tonight, we have the Cavs-Grizzlies. Grizzlies, not a good team. Cavs should be able to win that one, which is why it's very important the Knicks continue to win their games. You got 76ers-Spurs. We wouldn't have been able to do it anyway. This game starts at 7, and the Spurs-Sixers game starts at 8. I thought that was a late game. It is not. Actually, we're not able to do any other game here tonight because by the time that our game ends, it'll be 9:30. And we will already be a quarter into Blazers-Nuggets, which is the latest starting game. So we can't do even if we wanted to, we can't do any of these games. I don't like jumping into the middle of the games and then starting to call it. If I'm going to call a game, it's going to be from start to finish. Unless it's a blowout. In which case, we're getting out of there early. As far as tomorrow's slate go, we got Bulls-Wizards, Timberwolves-Pacers, Bucks-Nets, Heat, Raptors, Hornets, Celtics is the game of the night that we will be doing tomorrow. That's a good one. That's a fun one. I really can't wait for it. Eric C. said, pardon my ignorance. Do you only do basketball calls? I'm assuming that, but what do they say about assuming? What do they say about assuming? Right now, I'm only doing basketball. Basketball is my favorite sport. I'm more knowledgeable about basketball. I'm more passionate about basketball. I'm a very casual baseball fan. I'm a very casual football fan. I just don't know enough to really sit down and give you proper commentary. The only commentary I could probably give you is exactly what's going on in the game, but I can't put on an entertaining enough show for those sports in order to do it. If there's any other sport I'd ever even consider doing is maybe hockey. And I'm even more casual in hockey than I am in the other sports, but hockey is a faster paced sport. I don't like how slow paced baseball is. I don't like how slow paced football is, which is why I'm a casual fan of those sports. But I can't give you good enough commentary, in my estimation, at this point in my career to justify doing those games. Here we go. We're back into it. Anunoby hands it off to McBride. McBride coming to his left off the town screen. McBride off the dribble, puts up the three. Got it to go. Deuce McBride over to kill Alexander Walker. And boy, oh boy, if I miss Deuce McBride pull up threes over defenders. 11-0 run for the New York Knicks. 3:30 to go. Gabe Vincent is in the game. They get it over to Alexander Walker on the left wing, being guarded by McBride. They get it up top to Vincent, being guarded by Brunson. Vincent swings through to his right off the Johnson screen. Pump fakes, gets it out to Johnson. He mishandles the pass. Has to step out to the half-court line to get it. 5 seconds to go on the shot clock. He's going to dribble it down against Josh Hart. Coming to his left to the rim. Layup. Got it to go for Jalen Johnson right through the chest of Deuce McBride. Why was Deuce McBride the low man there? Not sure, but Deuce McBride not big enough or good enough rim defender to defend Jalen Johnson coming strong to the rim. Josh Hart, you got to tag off a little bit. Beautiful over-the-top pass from Karl-Anthony Towns to a cutting OG Anunoby. Another dime for Karl-Anthony Towns here tonight. Alexander Walker has it up top, driving to his right, down the lane, kicks it out. Dyson Daniels, they'll dare him to shoot it all night, and he makes them pay there by knocking down the three. My guy's like a 20% three-point shooter this year. He's been absolutely putrid, but he knocked that one down right there to make the Knicks pay. Brunson has it up top, being guarded by Daniels, coming to his left off the Hart screen. Dancing with it against Daniels, driving to his right, step back, fall away, mid-range shot off the back rim. Can't get it to go off a second bounce either. Gabe Vincent the rebound, quick outlet to Daniels. Daniels pushing the other way, has it on the right wing, crosses over to his left in the lane, kicks it out. Vincent up top, wide open straightaway three. Careens off the right side of the court, right side of the rim, way off. McBride the rebound, outlet past Karl-Anthony Towns, one-handed slam for Towns on the break, and flexes and lets out a primal scream to the crowd as well. A 5-point lead for the Knicks, 20-15. Catch and shoot three for Alexander Walker, gets fouled by McBride. It's going to give him 3 free throws. Horrible foul by Deuce McBride. Come on, Big Deucey. Got to be better than that. Got to be better than that. G4, what's up, G4? Jimbo Dini, what's up, Jimbo? You should do some NBA 2K games. Nobody is interested in my 2K because I do not like playing any of the My Player stuff in 2K. I think it's bad. I think it's a poorly optimized game. I think it's a poorly made game. And I think people who spend money on 2K, my career stuff, is silly. And I'll leave it at that. Alexander Walker knocks down the first free throw. He's got 2 more coming. Got fouled on a 3-point attempt. Raymond said, it's okay, Chevy. We all have a deficiency somewhere. I'm not passionate enough about it. I'm really not. Job said, I told y'all Deuce be making me mad mistakes. He does make some mistakes here. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt again, just coming back from the injury. You got to catch a rhythm again. Mitchell Robinson and Mikal Bridges is stubbing back in. G4, Chevy be balling? In real life, IRL? True hooper right here, brother. No, I haven't been on a basketball court in a couple of years. honestly, it makes me upset and sad that as I get older, I just don't really have enough time to even just go to a court and shoot around the way I used to. But give me like a week of consistently going to the court, and I'm a hooper. I'll really be hooping out there. Alexander Walker knocks down all three of his free throws. Under 5 to go here in this first quarter. The Knicks are out there with Brunson, Bridges, McBride, Towns, and Mitchell Robinson. Got the double big lineup out there. Brunson gets it over to Bridges, curling off a Robinson screen in the paint. Little fall away jumper. Got it to go. Nice manipulation there from Bridges. The Atlanta Hawks more worried about the lob to Mitchell Robinson. They left Bridges open in the middle of the lane. He knocked down the pull-up jumper. Alexander Walker, a step-back mid-range shot. He answers right back with a step-back midi himself. And we're back to a 2-point game, 22-24, 20 to go here in this first quarter. Knicks bringing it down the other way. Brunson up top, coming to his right. Now crossing back over to his left. Now coming back to his right. Now off of Towns and Robinson screen. Slips pass inside the Robinson. Catches. Two-handed slam from Mitchell Robinson as Alexander Walker couldn't get to that slip pass fast enough. Went for the steal. Couldn't get it. And Robinson gets the easy dunk out of it. Great pass from Brunson. Great finish from Robinson. Gabe Vincent down low. Leaves it off. Dyson Daniels. Easy layup. Bad defense for the Knicks there. Allowed the cut down the middle of the lane for Dyson Daniels off the paint attack. And now here comes Brunson bringing it down. Step back right wing three for Jalen Brunson. Wide, too strong. Can't get it to go off the back of the left rim. Can't get that one to go. Rebound by Bridges. Brunson gets caught in the air on a three-point attempt out of the corner and ends up throwing it away. Here comes Daniels. Daniels bringing it down, inside pass to Johnson. Johnson gets caught in the air, kicks it out. Alexander Walker in the right corner, hesitates, now puts it up over McBride. Got it to go for Alexander Walker and a timeout for the New York Knicks. He is absolutely hooping here tonight. McBride, excellent closeout, did not go for that initial pump fake. Alexander Walker said, "Oh, but you're Deuce McBride, you're like 4 inches shorter than me," and just rose up and shot it over him anyway and knocked it down. Excellent defense from McBride, just better offense from Alexander Walker. What a shot. What a shot. And I also don't have the game cast up for you guys. My bad, brother. My bad. 1-point game, 25-24, as the Atlanta Hawks have taken back a 1-point lead. Alexander Walker up to 8 points, 2 for 2 from the field. Knocked down all 3 of those free throws. G4 said, I know it's rough. I got my 7-week-old, so it's been hard. But the playground right next door, no excuse. But I'll be finding them. Finding time is hard, but I missed the game. Yeah, man. Yeah, I can't even tell you the last time I actually played any semblance of competitive basketball. Like, the last couple of years, when I've had time, all I've been able to do is just go shoot around for a bit. Like an hour and a half or so. Just shoot around, run around a little bit. But I haven't, like, been able to play, like, even a 3-on-3 game, you know, let alone a full-court 5-on-5 game. And I got to tell you, man, I miss it. I miss it so much. Like, just casual 5-on-5. Right, in the gym or on the court, on the playground. Like, man, I miss it. I miss it so much. Jimbo, I don't like microtransactions also. PlayStation gives away every other June for PS Plus. The last one was 2K25, so 2K27 should be next. Yeah. I mean, I just, the last time I played 2K my career was, I don't even know, 17, 18 or something. Yeah, I haven't been a fan of 2K and what they've been doing for about a decade now. When I do play 2K, which is not often, I end up playing more just like against computers. Sometimes I got a basketball itch, and because I can't go to a court whenever I want anymore, because I'm too old, I'll boot up some 2K and play a game or so. Papa Smurf, what's up, Papa Smurf? Tammy, what's up, Tammy? Kinahara, what's up, Kinahara? Angela Harding said, come on, Knicks, don't give up. Don't give the upper hand of this game. Don't give up the upper hand of this game. Let's go, Knicks, absolutely. Nick Yak said, clean up our turnovers. We'll be all right. I mean, it's going to be a close game all the way through. I suspect this will be a pretty much like a couple of possession games all the way through. I don't think either team will build up too much of a lead. Obviously, the potential is always there for the Knicks to falter, but the potential is also there for the Atlanta Hawks to falter at some point here. If the shots suddenly stop going down for either side, the other team has the opportunity to pull away. Gillette, what's up, Gillette? Isaiah Garner said, my last time I played my career is 2K17. Yeah, I'm around the same time. It just got to a point where I was like, oh, this is bad. This is really bad. You know. And it's only gotten worse since. So. Keenar said Eastern Conference actually strong. Now with Boston back, Atlanta and Charlotte, the Knicks, Detroit. Yeah. East is pretty dang good, man. Better than the West. Deeper than the West. Brunson bringing it down. Here we go. 3:30 to go in this first quarter. It's been a back and forth affair all night. Brunson coming to his left off the Robinson screen. Slip pass to Robinson. Extra pass to Anunoby. Wide open right corner three. Mitchell Robinson in the short roll making reads. You love to see it. Anunoby rewards them by knocking down the right corner three. That's some team basketball right there. Here comes Gabe. This feels like a playoff matchup. I got to say. This is feeling good. Both of these teams playing at a high level right now. Gabe Vincent slips it over to Tony Bradley, who hands it off to Alexander Walker. Bullet pass in the corner to Kuminga. Fires up the three over Shamet. Can't get it to go. Good box out from Robinson. He just carries a one-handed rebound over Tony Bradley. Here comes Jalen Brunson bringing it down the other way. Knicks holding on to this 2-point lead. Brunson up top. Sees a hedge. Swings it over to Bridges. Crosses over to his left. Foul line. Pull-up jumper. Mikal Bridges got the touch. Mr. Invisible has shown up, y'all. Mr. Invisible has shown up here tonight. 2:40 to go. Shamet guarding Kuminga up top, coming to his right. Swings it over to Johnson, being guarded by Shamet. Coming to his left, hands it off to Vincent. Vincent gets it back to Johnson, being guarded by Brunson. Bring the double team, bring the double team, bring the double team. Johnson gets caught in the air, kicks it in the corner. Alexander Walker catches, pump fake, sidestep, puts up the three. Too strong, can't get it to go. Fight for the loose ball rebound. Gabe Vincent ends up with it. Driving it down, kicks out to Alexander Walker. Brunson sticks onto him. Alexander Walker driving to his left, down the lane, flips it up with the left hand. Got it to go. He drove from his left, looked like he was going to put it up with his right, and then at the last second, switched it back to his left and finger rolled it up and in. What an impressive, skillful play from Alexander Walker there. Brunson coming to his left off a Bridges screen and a Robinson double screen. Brunson dancing with it, crosses over on Alexander Walker, kicks it out. Anunoby wide open left corner three. Too short, can't get it to go. Rebound to Johnson. Here comes Johnson pushing the other way. Has it up top, picked up by Bridges. Johnson hands it off to Kuminga. Kuminga being guarded by Brunson. Coming to his right off the screen. Pulls it back out as Bridges switches onto him. They get it back to Johnson being guarded by Brunson. Johnson backing him down. Spins. Fall away jumper over Brunson. Got it to go for Jalen Johnson. They see Jalen Brunson, they see red. And this has always been a consistent issue with this team. Brunson just not big enough and not good enough to defend guys like Jalen Johnson or even have any kind of hope of defending them. Bridges up top, swings through to his right up the Robinson screen, down the lane, kicks it in the corner to Anunoby, catches, pump fakes, now puts up the three anyway over Johnson. Too strong, can't get that one to go. Kuminga the rebound. Here comes Jonathan Kuminga bringing it down the other way. Kuminga up top, hesitates on Bridges, stops, crossing over to his left in the lane, kicks it over to Bradley. Bradley, the mid-range jumper, comes up well short, but the rebound careens right back to Bradley, who takes the baseline. Bridges comes up with a big block, protecting that rim, yes sir. Brunson pushing it the other way, crosses over on Kuminga in the lane. Euro steps in the paint, gets fouled, and he's going to the foul line for two, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker running to his bench, screaming, pleading for a challenge, hands in the air. Alexander Walker saying he got it clean. They called the foul. See the replay on it. Alexander Walker gets all ball on the strip. Are we going to get a challenge? I think we are going to get a challenge. We are indeed going to get a challenge here. That is a clean strip for Alexander Walker, but it looked like Knicks had imminent possession anyway, so the ball should stay with the New York Knicks, but it should be out of bounds after that. Just that said, Atlanta has to call that timeout, though. Yeah, they're going to use their challenge there. Good use of the challenge, I think. I mean, I know it's the first quarter, but does Alexander Walker have a foul already? He does. That'll save him a second foul. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but you might be interested in saving him from possible foul trouble. I don't know how he's been in terms of staying out of foul trouble this year. Lawrence Capitan, what's up, Lawrence? Zane said, Bridgie making a statement. He is in playoff mode, as he should be, Mikal Bridges, 8 points tonight, 4 for 5 from the field, 3 boards and assists, a nice big old block, some solid defense here tonight for Mikal Bridges. Donald More Music, my guy, what's up, Don? All season we've been talking about how quiet Bridges has been. He's found his voice, it seems. Hopefully he's locking into playoff mode, man. Hopefully he's locking into playoff mode. Susan said to Donald, said, let's not get carried away here. He's still Mr. Invisible to Susan. I will say he's being very loud here tonight. He's being very visible here tonight. Lauren said, who do you think is going to win? I'm a Knicks fan, so I'm always going to say the Knicks. If the Knicks are on, I got to say the Knicks. The Knicks could be the worst team in the league. And I'm still going to, and they could be playing the best team in the league. And I'm still going to be like, my Knicks got a chance, man. They're going to shock the world here tonight. Successful challenge. The Knicks still have imminent possession, so the ball will go back to the Knicks. It's just going to be side out of bounds. Atlanta does get the timeout back, but they only have one more challenge available to them for the rest of the game. Daniel Berry Sports, what's up, Daniel? Hope you're having a good night, brother. Isaiah Garner said, you hear what Brown said on Twitter, saying he wants that rematch on the Knicks since they choked back-to-back 20-point leads? Oh, Jalen Brown? I thought we were talking about Mike Brown. Sure. I didn't hear that, but yeah. I mean, if I were a Celtics fan, I'd be like, yeah, give me the rematch against the Knicks. I want revenge. That was us last year. I was like, yeah, give me Indiana. Let's get revenge. And then we didn't get revenge, so. Donald said, speaking of worst team in the league, I'm planning on doing season tickets for the Kings when I move to Sacramento. Not a bad idea, brother. Right? When other teams come to town, you have the ability to watch the Knicks when they come to Sacramento for the one time. You have the ability to, tune in for star teams going to Sacramento. Not a bad idea, right? Because those tickets should be somewhat cheap. Bridges down the lane, throws up a floater, can't get it to go. Mitchell Robinson battling on the glass for the rebound, knocked into the air. Bradley picks it off and then throws it away. Brunson bringing it down the other way. Inside pass to Bridges. Pump fakes, goes up, draws the foul. Mikal Bridges drawing a foul in the paint off a pump fake. Who is this guy? Who is this guy? Drawing fouls, Mikal Bridges? Keenar said Jalen Brown should be saying that. He should. He should, absolutely. Yeah, I see no issues with Jalen Brown saying. I mean, he should. He should absolutely be saying that. Absolutely. Bridges at the foul line. Misses the first free throw, though. Come on, brother. You can't be missing free throws. After all my complimenting, we can't be missing free throws now. Keenar said, who is this Stiff Bradley? I'm surprised you don't remember who he is, Keenar. He played for the Indiana Pacers last year. And the year before. Tyreek Smith. What's up, Tyreek? I was watching some playoff games from 1992, which was before my time, but the way they played back then was different. Teams then really battled. They did, because there was very little perimeter play overall. McCollum splits the pick and roll, gets it down the lane, gets the scoop layup with the right hand. It was a fun time. It was a different era of basketball, like you said. It was a fun time. Brunson has it up top, being guarded by Daniels. Brunson going to wind down as much time as possible. There's about a 3-second difference between game clock and shot clock. 10 seconds to go. Brunson dancing with it, crosses over to his right, has it in paint against Daniels. Pump fakes. He doesn't go for it, steps through, flips it up with the floater, can't get it to go. Bridges comes flying in for an offensive rebound and put back to end the quarter. McCollum a half-court heave, can't get it to go, and that'll be the end of the first quarter, 32-31. These two teams absolutely throwing haymakers against each other right now. Mikal Bridges, 5 for 7 from the field. 11 points, 4 boards, and assists. Should be 5 boards, no? I think he's got 5 boards. 11 points, 4 boards, and assists. Absolutely insane first quarter from Mikal Bridges, who I thought was excellent here tonight so far. Anunoby knocked down 2 threes, which is nice. Getting a little trigger happy on those 3-point shots, though. Jalen Brunson only 1 for 5 from the field here tonight. Got to get it going, big dog. Mitchell Robinson, 2 points on a nice slip pass, 2 rebounds, and an assist. Nice solid minutes from him. Landry Shamet yet to really contribute so far. The Hawks, you got McCollum with 5, Daniels with 5. Nobody else so far on the court has scored. Reed Shea just came in. Tony Bradley's not really going to give you much, even though he just came in too as well. 0 for 2 from the field for Tony Bradley, though. Mid-range shot for Tony Bradley was wild, I got to say. Isaiah Garner said, Mikhail's trying to get in playoff form. That is what I love to see. Absolutely. It definitely feels that way. He's getting the playoff form right now. Hopefully it remains throughout the rest of the game, and it wasn't just a nice first quarter outing. Isaiah Garner said, Mikal trying to get in the playoff form? Yeah. Just Dad said, Mikal drug test after the game. Yeah, I said, we see you, Bridges. We see you rounding in the playoff form, man. Rounding in the playoff form, as you should. As you should. Keenar said, not everyone can have my hair at 59? Big hair, Keenar? Crazy. I'm definitely jealous, brother. Chi-Chi, what's up, Chi-Chi? I keep saying it, Brown and the Knicks pulled off a stunt. This is the sort of the team we were expecting. They will win 54 games. You think they're going to run the table, Chi-Chi? I hope so. Get me to 54, I'll be happy. Student saying consistency is the key. And if there's anything this Knicks team as a whole has not been, it's consistent. Just that's at 11 or 9 minutes too. I still absolutely despise the fact that we played Jalen Brunson the entirety of the first quarter. But outside of that, I really like the rotation overall. No Jordan Clarkson. We'll probably see him start the second quarter here. Interesting. Used 8 players in that first quarter. Vortex J. What's up, Vortex? Why does Jalen Brunson only have 3 points? 1 for 5 from the field. He only has 3 points because he's being guarded by Dyson Daniels, one of the best perimeter players in the league. And then when he's not being guarded by Dyson Daniels, he's being guarded by Nickeil Alexander-Walker, also an elite defensive player in the perimeter defensive player in the league. Which is why it's very important for the other guys to contribute in heavy, heavy ways here tonight. Vortex said, I should have taken his under. Yeah, brother, you should have looked at the matchup. Mark James, what's up, Mark? The Celtics beat the Knicks in the playoffs. The way you phrase it, it is in past tense, Mark. Which they did not beat the Knicks in the playoffs. Now, if you're saying they will beat the Knicks in the playoffs this year, that is a conversation we indeed can have. It will be an absolute bloodbath come playoff time, man, between almost every East series this season is going to be absolutely insane. My goodness. Just that's a JB12 should change, right, but Jose doesn't deserve any time. Then bring in Clarkson. We got guys. Bring in other guys. All right, here we go. They do indeed go with Jordan Clarkson in. We have Shamet, McBride, Clarkson, Anunoby, and Robinson in. Interesting group of guys. Anunoby with the 4 bench guys. McBride has it up top, being guarded by Kuminga, over to Anunoby. Anunoby fakes the handoff, keeping it, spins to his right, loses his balance, and turns it over. Anunoby, outside of the 2 made threes, has not been great here tonight. They get it over to Daniels, driving to his left on Shamet, stops, kicks it in the corner. Reza Shea catches, pump fakes, being guarded by Clarkson. Reza Shea. Jab step, coming to his left, he loses his balance, but he picks himself back up, shoots up the follow-away jumper, can't get it to go. Good defense from Jordan Clarkson there. Bad offense from Reza Shea. McBride bringing it down, coming to his left, swings it over to Shamet. Shamet coming to his left, stops. Inside pass to Anunoby. What a pass from Shamet. Anunoby gets the lefty layup, looking for a foul too, didn't get it, but he did get the layup to go down. What a pass from Landry Shamet there. Anunoby up to 10. Here comes Jonathan Kuminga bringing it down. Kuminga being guarded by McBride. Kuminga sees the size and strength advantage, backing him down, leans in, follow-away jumper over him, got it to go for Jonathan Kuminga. Using just that size advantage. Sometimes it's all it takes. Let me just walk you down to a makeable range for me on the low follow-away, and he does that against McBride and knocks it down. McBride doing a good job staying in front, but there's nothing you can do about a size matchup. Mohamed Gay is also in the game here for Atlanta. Shamet driving past Gay, scoop layup, can't get it to go, but the foul is called. Robinson was right there for the 2-handed putback, but it does not count. It's going to be 2 free throws for Landry Shamet instead. Greg William, what's up, Greg? If Clarkson slammed ball instead of layups, we'd have a mini Aaron Gordon. Yeah. I mean, if Jalen Brunson had Vince Carter's athleticism, maybe we'd have Allen Iverson too. Yeah. He's never been that, brother. Ariel De La Cruz at the burial. If Karl Anthony Towns was 6'8" and uber athletic and had a beautiful turnaround jumper over his left shoulder, he'd be Michael Jordan. We're talking about a fundamentally different player at that point. Ariel said, I need Brunson and Towns to make 15 points. I'm rooting for you, brother. I'm rooting for you. Zay Garner said, East playoffs is going to be the better than the West this year, especially with Luka hurt. Yup. Shamet misses the second free throw. Battle for the loose ball rebound, but doesn't grab it. So it is a 2-point game. 10-30 to go. Daniels down the lane to his left. Lefty layup, can't get it to go. Can't get his own tip. Robinson battling for it. Saves it. Gets it over to Clarkson. What a defensive sequence from Mitchell Robinson there. Clarkson gets it over to McBride. Over to Shamet. Pump fakes. Shamet up top. Swings it over to Deuce. Deuce McBride. Calling out a mini set here with Robinson. Just going to run the pick and roll. Off the screen. Puts up the straightaway 3. Deuce McBride. My goodness. Rounding in the form. Baby, we love to see it. We love to see it, Deuce. Knicks back up by 5 here, 38-33. Kuminga up top, gets it over to McCollum. Quick catch and fire from 3. Can't get it to go, comes up short. Battle for the loose ball rebound. Reza Shea can't get the tip to go, but that's because he's fouled. Almost got it to go down. But he's going to go to the foul line for 2 free throws here. Don't go under them screens, Dyson Daniels. Don't go under them screens against Deuce McBride. He is waiting for you to go under. Hubian said, that's the Deuce Juice that I missed. Absolutely. Reza Shea at the foul line, rattles in the first one. He's got another one coming. Darian Elster, what's up, Darian? Whoa, Brunson sold my ticket. Brother, we are in the second quarter, big dog. Reza Shea misses the second free throw. Robinson, a nice strong rebound in the paint. Here comes Shamet bringing it down. We are under 10 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Knicks holding on to a 4-point lead. They get over to Anunoby, curling to his right, down the lane, kicks it in the corner to McBride, coming to his left. McBride has it up top, gets it over to Shamet, back to McBride. McBride, jab step, coming to his left off Anunoby screen. And that's a foul on Riza pushing Anunoby. After Anunoby tried to come up and set the screen, Riza gave it a little tug, a little push over to OG Anunoby, who fell into Daniels. And that's a foul on Riza. Side out of bounds for the Knicks. Just that's a deuce from 25 feet plus is the rainbow. Absolutely. He shoots that thing all the way up there, man. Sometimes it flies off screen. Sometimes it flies out of camera angle. Shamit up top, off the handoff from McBride to kick it out to Clarkson. Clarkson down the lane, pass fake in the paint, kicks it out. Deuce McBride, extra pass. Anunoby wide open, straightaway three, line me up, comes up short, rebound to Dyson Daniels. I think I like the extra pass from Deuce McBride, but I think I'd rather Deuce shoot that three, especially after knocking down his first two. Kuminga coming to his right off the Okongwu screen, gets caught in the air, kicks it over to Okongwu, driving to his right, kicks it back out to Kuminga. Kuminga hesitates from three, puts it up. Robinson with the block, and Robinson's out of bounds when he recovered the block shot, and the ball is going to go stay here with Atlanta with 6 seconds to go. Corey Evans, what's up, Corey? I got the Hawks winning. It's a close game, man. It's a close game. Could go either way. Keenan Har said, Riza-Shay's been pretty disappointing. They definitely should have taken Sarr or obviously Castle. Yeah, I mean, that was such a weak draft. Everybody was in contention for the number one pick. A step back three from McCollum. Off the back rim, can't get it to go. Rebound Kareem's back out to Okongwu. They get over to Kuminga, a left corner three. He comes up short. Battle for the loose ball rebound. Riza-Shay dropped in from the rafters for a two-handed putback. You don't love to see that. Knicks got to crash that glass as a team or box somebody out. Three attempts at the rim there is not great. Robinson has it up top. Being guarded by Okongwu. Spins, comes to his left. Hands it off to Clarkson. Clarkson being guarded by Riza-Shay. Clarkson's dancing with it. Coming to his left. Off the Robinson screen. Leans in. Throws up the tough floater. Got it to go. And the foul for Jordan Clarkson. And that's why he's in the rotation, baby. That's why they got him in the rotation right now. Clarkson going to the foul line for one more. Sometimes you just need a bucket getter to go get you a bucket. And that's what Jordan Clarkson can do. You know, I said, wow, Clarkson is playing well. Really well. And that's why you just got to stay ready, man. Just because you're out of the rotation, don't pout. Don't be upset. Don't be angry. Just put the work in. Stay ready. When your opportunity comes, take advantage of it. And he absolutely did that 1,000%. 1,000%. Jordan Clarkson knocks down his and one free throw. Appreciate you, JC. Appreciate you, brother. Really enjoying the Jordan Clarkson revival here. I'm really enjoying it. 8:40 to go here in the second quarter. Daniels gets it over to Okongwu. Okongwu up top, fakes the handoff, keeps it, being guarded by Robinson. Okongwu, he's got nowhere to go. Great defense for Robinson, who knocks the ball loose, picks it up with a steal, gets it over to McBride. What defense from Mitchell Robinson? Deuce McBride on the left wing. I think Robinson wanted the lob. He didn't get it. McBride dribbles it under the rim, kicks it out to Clarkson. A right corner three for Clarkson. Too strong, can't get it to go. Robinson battling on the glass. Got it. Puts it back up and got it to go. Mitchell Robinson. He said, you're not going to throw me the lob? I'm going to go get it then. You're not going to give it to me? I'm going to go get it off the glass. Mitchell Robinson dominating the game here today. And this is why I talked about in the first, something that Okongwu and the Atlanta Hawks struggle with overall can be size on the inside. Mitchell Robinson and Karl-Anthony Towns both have dominated this game utilizing their size in different ways. Obviously, Robinson is dominating defensively and on the glass, while Karl-Anthony Towns has dominated with his over-the-top passing. And the Knicks now take a 7-point lead, a 7-point lead, 43-36. Just that their pace must bother teams. Knicks pace? Hawks call quick timeouts. So are you saying just that the Hawks pace bothers teams? Or that the Knicks pace are bothering teams? Okay, said Mitch looks so disappointed. He did. I could understand the disappointment. It's not a good pass. Deuce McBride, number one, not a great lob thrower. But also, number two, I forget who was down there. I think it was Dyson Daniels. I know, obviously, Robinson is like, throw it up there. I'll jump him. I'll get up there. I'll throw it down. Joseph, appreciate you, brother. I forgot to give Robinson that putback. 43-36. That's not a great pass. But again, you need to reward the big man, especially a guy who's done all the dirty work so far here tonight. Mitchell Robinson, 4 points, 5 boards, and an assist so far here tonight. He's been utterly fantastic. Utterly fantastic. This is the playoff team that we've been waiting to see for the New York Knicks. Just that said, how are the Hawks winning so much, shooting 65% every game? Man, today need Cat for 20 points. Room for it, brother. Man said, why are the starters not in? There's this thing in basketball called substitutions, man. And so the starters don't play 48 minutes a game, big dog. Angela Harding said, let's go win this game. They got a 7-point lead. This definitely has an air of playoff basketball to it right now. Both of these teams desperately need to win these games in order to maintain their spot, their positioning in the standings right now. Desperately need to win these. Twilson, what's up, Twilson? Taking a look around the league, this is tomorrow's game. We got Hawks Celtics tomorrow. What's the late game? Rockets Suns. All right. As much as I want to watch the Suns, I really don't want to do another Rockets game at this point because we would be doing Rockets games come playoff time. But Hornets Celtics is a fun one tomorrow. 8 o'clock start time. And it's also an 11 p.m. game, so I don't know about that. Suns Gen. I want to watch the Suns Gen. I really do. But staying up for these late West Coast games is tough. And I really, again, we've done a lot of Rockets games this year, man. I really want to watch a healthy Suns team, though. Mark Williams back, Dylan Brooks back finally, Devin Booker healthy, Jalen Green healthy. I really want to watch a fully healthy Suns team. As a matter of fact, let me take a look at the Suns record. The Suns schedule remaining. So we're getting back into this game real quick. All right, real quick. Check out the schedule. What do they got left? Is there a game we can do? OKC, final game of the season, 8:30 p.m. Obviously, every team is also playing on Sunday, final game of the regular season. Well, if the Knicks schedule does not, I think it does. I think the Knicks play at 7. That sucks. No, the Knicks play at 6, so it ends at 8:30. As we're back. Ends at 8:30. We might be able to do the final game against the Suns, brother. We might. Gabe Vincent off the handoff, has it up top, spins, coming to his right, leaves it off Okongwu, hesitates, puts up the straightaway 3, and Okongwu knocks it down. Big time shot for Onyeka Okongwu to get it back to a 4-point game as the Knicks were starting to build momentum there. Suns Giants said, oh Lord, no. Well, the Oklahoma City Thunder might not be playing anybody as well because they might be locked into the 1 seed. They call a moving screen on Jordan Clarkson off balls. Deuce McBride was trying to curl off for an open straightaway 3. And they called a moving screen. I think it's on Robinson. I think it's on Clarkson. Moving screen on Clarkson. Gabe Vincent bringing it down. Vincent has it up top, being guarded by Clarkson. Coming to his right, gets it over to Okongwu, gets it over to Johnson. Johnson being guarded by Josh Hart, who subbed back into the game. Johnson down the lane. Floater, can't get it to go. Rebound to Robinson. Quick outlet to McBride. McBride pushing the other way. Hit ahead to Clarkson. And a bad pass from Deuce McBride at the feet of Jordan Clarkson. Should have caught the ball, sure, but goes through his legs, goes through his hands, and it goes out of bounds. Always going to be on the passer's fault. Okongwu, get it back on defense. McBride trying to guard Alexander Walker, who blows past him down the lane. Lefty layup off glass, got it to go. My goodness, what a move from Alexander Walker. What a finish over Mitchell Robinson high off glass. He looked out of control, but at the end of the day, he was perfectly in control. He knew exactly what he wanted to do and where he wanted to go. Clarkson in the high post, being guarded by Vincent, spins off of him, loses his balance, lost the ball, out of bounds, and Jordan Clarkson, a bit of a disaster right now. Sub him out of the game, big dog. Sub him out of the game, get somebody else in. He had a nice starting stretch there, but now pull him out. Not working too well. Okongwu misses the straightaway 3. Josh Hart with the rebound, pushing it the other way. Josh Hart over to Shamit, swings through to his right, trying to take the baseline. Ball knocked out of bounds by Kuminga. Shamit got something to say to the ref. He wanted the foul there. He didn't get it, but the ball will at least stay here with the New York Knicks. Kenar said, suddenly he's SGA. Good DNA. Yeah, suddenly he's got all the dribble moves out on top, double behind the back off a crossover, getting to the basket, getting to the rim, finishing high off glass with the left hand over Mitchell Robinson. Incredible finish. All right, we get Bridges back in. We get Towns back in. We get Brunson back in. We have Brunson, Bridges, Hart, Shamit, and Towns in the game right now. Atlanta sitting with Okongwu, Johnson, as Josh Hart has it in the right corner. Alexander Walker, Daniels, and Kuminga. They get over to Brunson, hits it over to Karl-Anthony Towns, who picks and pop with the straightaway 3. In and out, can't get that one to go. Rebound to Kuminga, who's going to push it the other way. Jonathan Kuminga up top. Brunson's going to look to pick him up. Kuminga is going to dance with it. Gets it over to Daniels, back to Kuminga. Kuminga stops, pump fakes. Swings it over to Daniels. Daniels being guarded by Bridges. Jab step coming to his left, down the lane, scoop layup. Got it to go past Bridges. Can't get blown by like that, Mikal Bridges. Can't do it. We are approaching the halfway point of this second quarter. Bridges up top, lobs it over the top to Towns. Towns hands it off to Bridges, coming to his right off the handoff, driving it down. Scoop play with the right hand. When was the last time I saw Bridges go to the basket with a layup and not a fall-away jumper? Shaman went for the steal. Alexander Walker caught it, spun, knocks down the pull-up three. And it is a 6-point lead for Atlanta off a quick, 10-0 run for the Atlanta Hawks. Down by 7 to up 3 in an instant, in 2 minutes. Towns has it up top. Gets it over to Brunson on the left wing. He catches and fires on the left wing three. Can't get that one to go. Rebound to Johnson, and Johnson and the Hawks pushing it the other way. 5:30 to go here in the second quarter. Johnson up top. Picks up his handle. Over the top pass to Okongwu. Over his fingertips. A bad pass. Bridges bring it down over to Shamet. Transition pull-up three. Off the back rim. Can't get it to go. Rebound to Kuminga. Kuminga throws a terrible lob pass, and Bridges able to recover and knock it out of bounds. Keenar said, "Nah, is deadly." My goodness, I knew he was having a phenomenal season. We've seen him have fantastic games, but he has been incredible here today. He's up to 15 points, 5 for 6 from the field on some really difficult shots he's knocked down here tonight. It's not like the Knicks have played poor defense on him. They're in his jersey. They're forcing him to take tough shots. A lot of them are tough jumpers, and even when he's in the paint, they're forcing him into tough layup attempts, and he's knocking them down anyway. CJ McCollum driving to his left, crossing over to his right, leaves it off for Johnson. Johnson gets it over to McCollum. Jab step, coming to his left, off the Johnson screen. Josh Hart hedges out hard. McCollum pulls it out, gets it back to Johnson in the post, being guarded by Sham. He's got the size and strength advantage, trying to back him down. Steps through, throws up the floater, got it to go for Jalen Johnson. And a timeout for the Atlanta Hawks, it looks like. And what 2-point basket did I miss? I'm trying to think. It is 48-43. 5-point lead for the Atlanta Hawks here. Jimmy Young, what's up, Jimmy? Scoreboard's as up to date as I can get it, brother. It's a one-man band up here. I try. If you ever see something off, just let me know. Just that said, momentum ended. Momentum ended, for sure. For sure. Momentum started the wane there. Gigi said 12-0 run, what are we doing? The Knicks have missed some makeable shots, and the Atlanta Hawks have made some really tough shots. And also, the Knicks defense not up to par. Just that said, 5 for 14 from three is an nasty run from 4 for 8. Shots starting to not go down. What can the Knicks rely on other than three-point shooting? This is a question that has been asked. There's a question that has been asked all season about the New York Knicks. Corey Evans said, do you have a producer? Hi, brother, I am the producer. I am the producer, the host. I create all the graphics. Will said 43-46 is the current score. Last we checked, it was 43-48, brother. My guy Will Vasquez is in the past. It's 43-48. I got you, brother. 43-48. Keenar said this definitely has a playoff feel. It does indeed. This is a good test for the New York Knicks, a good test for the Atlanta Hawks, who obviously want to have playoff intensity games. Greg said still time left. We're not even at halftime. Not worried about it. Knicks got to get back on track, though. Good timeout. Yak said Mitchell left the game is probably the difference. Mitchell Robinson, incredibly important. We talk about it all the time, right, Yak? Me and my guy, Nick Yak, on the Mitchell Robinson bandwagon train since the start. Never wavered. Me and my guy, Nick Yak, never wavered on Mitchell Robinson. Just that if three-point shooting isn't working, they should try three-point shooting. That's definitely their mentality for sure. We talk about this all the time. One of the biggest weaknesses of this Knicks team, they don't have great ball handlers or great attackers of the rim. It's really Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Karl Anthony Towns are the only guys capable of getting to the rim by themselves. Every other player kind of needs like a set or a play or a screen to get to the basket. Susan, appreciate you, Susan. Corey said, hire a producer. Point me in the direction of a list of producers, and then I'll think about it. Zane said, Mikhail went back into the shadows. He just came back into the game. Let's see after this timeout what we look like. Kenar said Mikhail is a -5, so this is why I don't like the plus-minus, brother. Karen reminded people to like button. Appreciate you, Karen. If you guys are enjoying the show so far, please go ahead, hit that thumbs up button and like the stream. I'd very much appreciate it. Best thing you can do to help support the show. Miss Mar said, I love the one-man show. Appreciate you, Miss Mar. Fungpei did a whole generation of children try to feed pony tacos. What, brother? What? I don't even know what that's in reference to. Why is my timer so far behind? We're a minute behind here. Towns down the lane off the nice pass from Brunson. Towns rolling to the rim. Gets the little floater to go down. The Brunson and Towns connection has been there here today. McCollum bringing it down against Shamit. Brunson switches onto him. McCollum dancing with it, coming to his right of a screen. Driving it down. Step back, mid-range, fall-away jumper. CJ McCollum rattles it in. 5-point lead for Atlanta. Both these teams have gone back and forth all night long. Brunson up top being guarded by Daniels. Brunson coming to his left off the Towns screen. Good screen from Towns. Brunson dances with it in the mid-range. Pulls it back out. If I'm Brunson, I'm looking to get it to Towns. But Brunson isolating on a Congo here. Dancing with it. Crosses over to his left. Down the lane. Scoop layup high of glass with the left hand. Got it to go down for Jalen Brunson. Tough shot. Here come the Hawks quickly trying to push it the other way after Brunson hit the floor. Okongwu spots up for a three in transition, misses it, but rebound to Daniels, kicks it out to McCollum, dancing with it, mid-range pull-up jumper, comes up short, rebound, knocked out of bounds. It's going to stay here with Atlanta. And Bridges arguing that it should have been an over-the-back foul, but it's going to stay here with Atlanta. Kenar said, I told everyone it was a butt trade for the Wizards. It might very well end up being that, but we got to wait to see what Trae Young looks like with that, with the Hawks. With the Wizards. You know, he's played like 3 games this season with the Wizards. They get it into McCollum in the right corner being guarded by Brunson. Over to Alexander Walker being guarded by Bridges. Bridges trying to apply a ton of pressure here to Alexander Walker. Josh Hart switches onto him. Walker gets it over to Daniels. Back to Walker. Off the handoff. Puts up the left wing 3. Got it to go. Alexander Walker can't miss here tonight, man. Tough contested shots. It does not matter for him. Does not matter. He's up to 18 first half points. 3 for 4 from three-point range. Brunson bringing it down. Brunson gets it over to Towns. Towns up top, fakes the handoff, keeps it, hits Brunson cutting back door in the paint, kicks it out. Anunoby wide open left corner 3. Got it to go for OG Anunoby, gets those 3 points right back. Okay. Nice play from Towns. Nice pass from Towns to Brunson, and a nice pass from Brunson to Anunoby for the wide open corner 3. Daniels has it up top, being guarded by Towns. I like that they put Towns on a non-shooter in Dyson Daniels. I like that change in this matchup here. McCollum gets the down low to Johnson. They kick it in the corner to Okongwu. A 3, way off on that one. Barely grazes the rim. Towns the rebound. Brunson bringing it down against Alexander Walker. Brunson up top. Brunson dancing with it. Coming to his left off the Towns screen. And they call a moving screen on Karl Anthony Towns. Don't love that call, but obviously can't be moving on them screens. Kenar said OG should be making that shot all day. Absolutely. Absolutely. We are just under 3 minutes to go here in the second quarter. McCollum has it up top. It's a 3-point game. McCollum down the lane in the paint, kicks it out. Dyson Daniels wide open right corner 3. They will dare him to shoot it all night long. He misses it halfway down, though. Josh Hart the rebound. Quick outlet to Bridges. Bridges on the right wing. Crosses over to his left in the lane. Stops. Kicks it out to Hart. Hart over to Brunson. Brunson being guarded by Alexander Walker. Rejecting the screen. Coming to his left. Goes screen from Hart. Now gets it over to Towns. High post. Towns faces up. Pump fakes, jab step, shot clock running down. He pump fakes again, down the lane to his right, loses the ball out of bounds, and it's going to go back to the Atlanta Hawks. And Towns not happy with the non-call there. Corey said, Cat playing with a hurt elbow. He is indeed. He's got the shooting sleeve on for a reason. Just that said, OG looking smooth tonight. The three-point shots are looking solid. I think he settled for a couple of too many threes I haven't loved, but clearly he's feeling it, so that's why he's firing it up there for sure. Skonberg said Alexander Walker missed the first 2 shots. We put him on the line, and that set him off. Yep. Good point, Skonberg. Good point. Put him on the line after that early missed 3 where McBride ran into him after he shot it, and he has been going ever since. Jalen Johnson has it. Foul line. Great defense. Towns knocks the ball away. Josh Hart able to pick it up. He's going to go all the way. Josh Hart, no, he's going to pull it back out. Leaves it off for Bridges. He'll come to his right. Mid-range pull-up jumper from Mikhail. Got it to go. What a nice, smart, calm, cool, and collected play for the Knicks to not force it. Instead, look for the open man, and Bridges knocks down the mid-range jumper. Bridges now guarding Alexander Walker. He's locking in defensively. Walker's going to dance with it, though. Coming to his right. Crossing back over to his left on Hart. Swings it out to Johnson. Catches. Pump fakes. Back out to Alexander Walker. Being guarded by Hart. Coming to his left off the screen. Bridges picks him up. Spinning to his right. loses the handle. Mid-range pull-up jumper. Can't get that one to go. No, he does. Hit the front of the rim, hit the back of the rim, got the nice friendly bounce, and he gets it to drop down. Alexander Walker, even when he misses, he doesn't miss. He's 7 for 8 from the field here tonight. Brunson bringing it down the other way. He has it up top. He's being guarded by Daniels. They get it over to Towns, left wing, out by the three-point line. Coming to his right off a screen from Brunson. He steps back, extra pass. Brunson wide open, left wing three, knock me down. He can't get it to go. Jalen Brunson does not have the shooting touch here tonight. We got to get the captain going. Come on, JB, you're getting decent looks here. McCollum kicks it out. Daniels a wide open right corner three. He misses another one, but Okongwu right there for the tip up and in. Brunson tried to flop and get an offensive foul on Okongwu. They did not give it to him. And instead, Daniels ended up with a wide open three, but then the Knicks don't box out, and Okongwu able to come in for the one-handed tip up and in. Come on, JB, you're putting your teammates in a bad spot there. Towns has it up top, hands it off to Brunson. Brunson coming to his left, spins to his right, step back, steps through in the paint, puts up the floater, doesn't get the floater to go down, but he draws the foul on Daniels, and Brunson will go to the foul line for 2 free throws with 40 seconds to go in this second quarter. Joseph said Alexander is killing the Knicks right now. Look, with an explosive first half from Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 7 for 8 shooting, the Atlanta Hawks are only holding a 5-point lead. So if there's anything to take solace in, it's the fact that Alexander Walker is in fuego right now. And like I said, even when he misses, he makes his shot. So if there's anything to pull from that, if you want to be positive about the Knicks, it's like, okay, well, they're surviving an incredibly hot stretch here from Alexander Walker. Now, the thing with that is Brunson misses the first free throw. JB, brother, you got to be better tonight, man. Everybody else is hooping. Everybody's hooping, and you're 2 for 8 from the field. Now, I get you have the toughest matchups tonight. You're being guarded by Daniels and then Alexander Walker. That's incredibly tough. But, man, Kinar said, Chevy giving us solace. If there's anything to take solace in, it's the fact that Alexander Walker can't miss right now, and it's a 4-point game. Daniels gets it over to McCollum. McCollum bringing it down. McCollum up top, hands it off to Johnson. Johnson coming to his left off a Daniels screen. And they call a foul on Mikal Bridges being physical with Alexander Walker out on the perimeter. Mark James said, let's go Knicks, beat the Hawks. It's going to be tough. They get it into Johnson. Johnson up top. 12 on their shot clock. Crossing over to his right. Driving it down on Bridges. Trying to go through his chest to the rim. Layup. Can't get it to go. Great defense from Bridges and from Anunoby. Daniels able to save it. Over to Alexander Walker, being guarded by Brunson now. He's going to pull it out for what should be the final shot of the quarter. Shot clock is off. He's holding it. He's got Brunson guarding him. Bridges is sneaking up there. Bring the double team now. Too late. Alexander Walker coming to his right. Now bring the double team. He's going to drive it down on Anunoby. Stop, turn, spin. Gets blocked by Bridges. And then Johnson picked up the loose ball. Got blocked by Towns. And the Knicks defense has been incredibly impressive so far here today for the most part. Yer, what's up, Yer? Appreciate you, brother. My guy, big dog, appreciate you. Corey Evans said, Hawks winning this game, sorry. You don't have to apologize, brother. You can root for your team, as you should. This has been an incredibly close game. It could go back. It could go either way. It's been back and forth. But as we start our halftime rundown, as Carnthony Towns having a very animated discussion with the official, and his teammates trying to pull him away. They're laughing a little bit, and Towns very, very serious, very animated discussion with the official. Not happy at all. Jeff Brown, what's up, Jeff? All right, as always, our halftime rundown is presented to us by our guys over at Get Off My Lawn Records. Go ahead and check them out. Go to their website, getoffmylawnrecords.com, and check out where you can check out either their music or any of their artist music. And if you are intrigued at all in making music, go ahead and get in contact with our guys at Get Off My Lawn Records by visiting their website, where they could either help you make music themselves or point you in the right direction, either way. You should also be subscribing to their YouTube channels, both Get Off My Lawn Records and the Jazz Destroyers as well. Also, they were generous enough to give us a discount code. You can go to bandcamp.com and use promo code Sheffy to get 20% off site-wide. Shout out our guys at Get Off My Lawn Records. You can also check out their music, the Jazz Destroyers, on their YouTube channel or on their website. So go ahead, give it a listen, see if it matches your vibe. Shout out our guys, man. They're great. Suns Gen said, I need some Jose Havoc. Very clearly out of the rotation right now, man. Just that's a JB, 2 for 8, 0 from 3. Yup. And Kinahara, if there's anything to take solace in, it is indeed the fact that Nickeil Alexander-Walker can miss and Jalen Brunson can't hit anything, even the open ones. So Here, we're going to go right to the box score, then we'll go to the team stats. We're going to switch it a little bit here tonight. Usually we start with the team stats, but I do want to take a quick look at both Jalen Brunson's performance and Alexander Walker's. So Jalen Brunson, 6 points, 5 assists here tonight. He does have the 2 turnovers, but 0 for 3 from three-point range on decent looks, 2 for 8 from the field on decent looks. Got to be able to knock down some contested ones. You know, he garners the toughest matchup always from opponent teams. And Dyson Daniels always gives him issues, as well as Nickeil Alexander-Walker. 2 very difficult matchups. Get off my lawn records. Appreciate you. I don't think I'm going to get a little west of regret by the Jazz Destroyers out before the end of the season, but I'm trying. We got Knicks. I got hockey. It's a lot, but I'm trying. Do what you got to do, big dog. Do what you got to do. No rush for sure. We'll always point people in the direction of you guys. Nate Yak said, we played well. A well-played first half. Well-played first half from both sides, for sure. And it's got playoff intensity right now. Yer said, I told my Hawks will beat y'all in a 7-game series. I don't know, man. I don't know. Right? If we take everything Keno Hart said, it's always Bouye time. Shout out Bouye, man. Ricardo said that Alexander Walker is slowly transforming into his final form of becoming SGA. Slowly but surely indeed. Slowly but surely indeed. OG Anunoby, 13 points. Mikal Bridges, 13 points. So our 2 leading scorers, OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges, 2 of some of our most inconsistent players this season. OG Anunoby, 3 for 6 from three-point range. His 3 misses have come from three-point range. Mikal Bridges has not taken the 3 tonight, but he's 6 for 9 from the field. He's been very aggressive getting to the rim. A steal, 2 blocks for Mikal Bridges. He looks like he's primed for playoff form right now. I think he's been fantastic here tonight, both offensively and defensively. He's got to take the assignment of guarding Alexander Walker from here on out with the way that he's playing, and he's got to lock him up, or at least make it more difficult than him. Has missed only 1 shot here tonight, Alexander Walker has. And Josh Hart, 0 points, 15 minutes tonight, 3 boards, 2 assists. I think Josh Hart has been okay, but nothing spectacular. It's no surprise that he's got the highest negative on the team as a -9. You guys know I'm not a big fan of the plus-minus stat, but in terms of matching the eye test, I think everybody has brought something to the game, and I haven't really seen too much from Josh Hart, although he is playing some solid defense on Jalen Johnson here tonight. Right? Don't want to take that away from Josh Hart. He's played some really solid defense on Jalen Johnson. But we're going to need some Josh Hart-isms here tonight, whether it's attacking the glass or getting to the rim or knocking down a 3 or 2 or being a nice connective ball mover and whatnot. But outside of that, he hasn't just really done much to stand out here tonight. Everyone else pretty much has, even going towards the bench. Jay Tizzle for life. What's up, Jay Tizzle? Reason why SGA is an MVP is people like Naw and Castle are pseudo versions of him and can become him. People like Luka, Brown, Jokic, and Wemby can't be replicated. There are literally better versions of Jalen Brown in the NBA. There's literally a better version of Jalen Brown on his own team. So, disagree with that. Luka Doncic is a worse version of LeBron. Jokic is a 1 of 1 for sure. Wemby's a 1 of 1 for sure. But, yeah, the SGA is the reigning MVP and will probably win 2 in a row. Kinar said to Jay Tizzo, I think SGA is an MVP simply because OKC is too good without him, whereas Wemby and Jokic are the real deal. Well, you can't really make that argument for SGA, but then also ignore how good San Antonio has been without Wembanyama this year. Right? The Denver Nuggets were also pretty decent without Jokic this year as well. The NBA is just really solid. Those teams are just really solid. Someone said Wemby's winning MVP. I think SGA is still going to win the MVP, and I think it's not going to be particularly close. Wemby will get some votes. Jokic will get some votes, but I think ultimately SGA will win MVP, and in my estimation, I think as he should. Yeah, all the teams have so much talent these days. They do indeed. They do. Keenar said, I don't agree Tatum is better than Jalen Brown. He is 1,000% better than Jalen Brown. And I don't think it's particularly close. Now, Jalen Brown's been excellent this year, and as right now, fresh off an Achilles injury, yes, you could definitely say Jalen Brown is better than Tatum. But overall and moving forward, Jason Tatum is indeed better than Jalen Brown, and it's not close. Randy, what's up, Randy? What about Cat's numbers? Karl-Anthony Towns tonight, 7 points, 4 boards, 3 assists. He does have the 3 turnovers, 2 steals, and a block, though, for Karl-Anthony Towns. I think he's also been pretty spectacular overall for his performance here tonight. 3 turnovers is obviously at least too many, man. Way too much. As far as coming off the bench, Mitchell Robinson I thought was spectacular in his minutes, 4.6 rebounds off the bench. I thought he was great. A steal, 2 blocks. Again, the Knicks are just stacking up the stocks numbers here tonight. Jordan Clarkson, 3 points off the bench on a nice and 1 floater. Landry Shamet, only 1 point. He missed his free throws. He only missed his 1 shot attempt, which was a 3-point attempt. McBride 2 for 2 from 3, which was nice. The Knicks are getting some nice contributions. They have a total of 14 points off the bench, which is always great. But Josh Hart's got to get going a little bit here. And Brunson definitely has to get going. So for the New York Knicks, no Jalen Brunson, no Josh Hart, and they trail by 4 here at halftime. Keenar said, y'all have your opinions. I believe Brown is the better player. I don't even think it's close, brother. I don't even think it's close. I don't think it's ever really been close. I think even rookie Jason Tatum was better than second-year Jalen Brown. I think it's been that way the entirety of their careers. Jason Tatum is just on a different plane than Jalen Brown to me. Not even close. Not to me. Nazalan said Tatum's better all-around player than Brown. Absolutely. I think he's a better defender. I think he's a more versatile player. As a matter of fact, the Celtics consistently go to small ball 5 with Tatum at the center, and Tatum does an excellent job there. He's a better rebounder. He's a better playmaker. He garners more attention. He's a better finisher in the paint. Randy said Brown is a better player. I disagree pretty heavily. I don't even think it's close, personally. But we go to the Atlanta Hawks here, and outside of Alexander Walker, they're kind of struggling to consistently find ways to get baskets. I said, see, I told you this isn't obvious. I still think it's pretty obvious to me. I still think it's pretty obvious. To me, if both players fully healthy, like, yes, I'll give it to you. Fresh off an Achilles injury, sure. We could say Jalen Brown's better than Jason Tatum, but Jason Tatum is, for a reason, the guy with the ball in his hands to decide games for the Boston Celtics. Now, this year is different. Again, fresh off an Achilles injury, but Keenar said Brown is really good. He's really good. I never said he wasn't. He's really good. Saying Jason Tatum is better than Jalen Brown is not discrediting Jalen Brown at all. Jason Tatum, when fully healthy, is a top 5 player in the NBA. At worst, maybe 6, maybe 7. But Jalen Brown, to me, isn't even a top 10 player in the NBA. That's just me. It's just me, right? He's hovering around 10. I shouldn't say isn't a top 10. He's hovering around 10. Sons Jen said same, just Brown for me. Maybe it's closer than I'm giving it credit for, but to me, I don't even think it's debatable in my mind. In my mind, I'm like, there's nothing you could tell me that that would make me believe that Brown is better. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm off. But like I said, there's really no argument you can give me that would make me believe that Brown is an overall, when fully healthy, that Brown is a better overall player than Tatum. It's never been the case. And I don't think it'll ever be the case. Maybe after this Achilles injury, he takes a step back. But Hoovian said, personally, JB is better. Jalen Brunson? Absolutely. He is indeed the one true JB in my eyes. Nick Yak said, we give up 12 offensive rebounds they were scoring from. Absolutely. We'll go through the team stats. They're not really getting much off the bench, and that could come to hurt them as the game continues to go on. Very reliant on their starters right now. 2 points from Kuminga, nothing from Mohamed Gay, 3 points from Reza Shea on an and 1 play. 0 points from Bradley, 0 points from Gabe Vincent. They have a pretty weak bench overall. Jock Landale is actually... No Corey Kispert. Why is Corey Kispert not playing? Whoa. Why is Corey Kispert not playing? My goodness. Keenan Harris and Jason Tatum is up there for lowest efficiency volume scoring in a playoff run with the true problem LeBron. Tatum 2 seasons, sub 40% volume scoring. You know why? Because he garnered all of the attention, and Jalen Brown did not step up to help him. Now, he did step up to win Finals MVP that year, and he was fantastic. But also, Jason Tatum was getting double-teamed, and he was giving it over to Jalen Brown, who was scoring. If we go back and watch that series, Jason Tatum had the ball in the high post, and they would bring a double team, and Jason Tatum was getting off of it, and all Jalen Brown had to do was play off of the gravity of Jason Tatum because Jason Tatum is the better player. Doing too much. That Mitch was balling, needs more minutes in the second half, for sure. He got 10 minutes. That's Kuminga. How many minutes? I think he got 10 minutes. 10 minutes in the first half, Mitchell Robinson. 12 minutes for Shamet. Too many minutes. Too many minutes for Shamet. We got to spread some of those minutes around. Clarkson with 5. Now, we started to 2 turnovers, some not great minutes for Jordan Clarkson during that stretch there. I thought he started strong, ended not great. Bruce Fowler, what's up, Bruce? Raymond said Tatum is a great outside player. Brown is better in the paint. I disagree. I think Tatum is also better in the paint. Bigger, stronger, better finisher overall. Yeah. Joseph Mims, what's up, Joseph? McBride knocked down the 2 threes, but outside of that, I thought he was kind of spotty with some of his decision-making, and some of his passes were off, so not great. Nate Yak said, Reed Bridges host that line. We did. It is incredible. Yes. 13 points, 4 boards, and assists, a steal, and 2 blocks from Mikal Bridges here tonight, and also 3 offensive rebounds for his 4 rebounds. He's been fantastic tonight. The Knicks, all hands on deck. Jalen Johnson, 4 for 11 from the field, 9 points. I think they've done it 5 boards, 2 assists, 4 turnovers for Jalen Johnson. He's not having a very good game. So the Atlanta Hawks fans are, coming into halftime here. They're like, okay, we got a 57-point lead. Even if Alexander Walker starts to cool off a little bit in the second half here, Jalen Johnson should be able to start to go off, and that'll balance out the scale. Same with CJ McCollum, who's 3 for 9 from the field. They are going to be looking for a better second half from McCollum and Johnson to maybe balance out Alexander Walker possibly cooling off here in the second half. And then you have the New York Knicks making the argument of like, okay, Jalen Brunson is going to heat up. Josh Hart's going to give you something. Karl Anthony Towns is going to score a couple more baskets here. But for the most part, the Knicks didn't. Mikal Bridges, 6 for 9 from the field, is something that you look at and you go, whoa, where did that come from, right? Because he's not been that player the last couple of weeks, probably the last month or so. But outside of that, I think everybody else has kind of played true to form. Whereas we look at the Atlanta Hawks, and yes, Jalen Johnson and CJ McCollum have, for the most part, kind of struggled here tonight. But Alexander Walker is having an out-of-body type of game, and he's capable of doing that. He's had games like that this year, so it's not out of nowhere. But they're not really getting much off the bench, and looking at it, I don't know where the bench points are going to come from. Reza Shea and Kuminga are the only players who scored, and I don't think I would rely on any of those guys to score moving forward, right? Mohamed Gay not giving them anything, Tony Bradley, Gabe Vincent not giving them anything. Surprised not using Corey Kispert. Really surprised at that. Buzzer Beater, what's up, Buzzer Beater? NS Foz, what's up, NS? I need Josh Hart to drop 10, 0 points, really. 0 points is rough for sure. It's rough. Raymond said, but Tatum is the better player. He is in my eyes, and I don't think it's close, but plenty of people in the chat definitely disagreeing right now. So maybe it's closer than I'm giving it credit for, but there's really not an argument you can give me that Brown is better than Tatum. That's just me, though. We're going to look real quick before we come back after this halftime break. The New York Knicks are 6 for 16 from three-point range. The Atlanta Hawks are 7 for 20. The Hawks are not a very good three-point shooting team. As a team, they have good three-point shooters, but Dyson Daniels, Jonathan Kuminga, I think each have taken 3 threes, so they're 0 for 6 combined. They're not good three-point shooters. Well, Dyson Daniels actually knocked down a 3. Overall, 22 made shots for the Hawks, 21 made shots for the Knicks, but 52 attempts for the Atlanta Hawks, who have absolutely killed the Knicks here tonight in the possession battle. Rebounds overall, 19 to 24. Knicks getting killed on the glass yet again, giving up 12 offensive rebounds. Wow, 1 offensive rebound to Robinson, 3 offensive rebounds to Mikal Bridges, 12 offensive rebounds to the Atlanta Hawks. Knicks, they need to find a way to snag some rebounds here. That's actually pretty pathetic. That's pretty pathetic. The Knicks need to be a better rebounding team here tonight. Buzzer Beater said, we are losing because not enough people hit the like button. Appreciate you, Buzzer Beater. Reminding people to go ahead and hit that like button here in the second half. It is by far the best thing you can do to help show support to the YouTube channel. Brunson bringing it down. Knicks start the second half with the ball. Brunson gets it over to Towns, rolling to the rim, stops at the foul line, low fall-away jumper. Got it to go for Karl Anthony Towns. They have Okongwu on Towns, and the Knicks just going right to that Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns pick and roll, and Towns is feasting tonight. 4 for 5 from the field for 9 points. Johnson gets it over to Alexander Walker, over to Okongwu cutting to the rim, gets blocked, picked up his own loose ball, turns, flips, can't get it to go. Towns the rebound, quick outlet to Josh Hart. Great defense from Karl Anthony Towns in the paint. And here comes Josh Hart bringing it down the other way. Hart gets it over to Towns as the trailer. Towns Down low to Anunoby being guarded by McCollum. Backing him down. Drop step. Gets stripped. Picks up the loose ball. Still has it in the post against him. Hands it off to Bridges. Bridges back out to Anunoby. Catches. Crosses over. Step back. Left wing three for OG. Comes up short. And rebound to Johnson. Johnson gets it over to Daniels. Daniels pushing it the other way on the left wing. Daniels hands it off to Johnson. He's being guarded by Hart. Spins to his right, down the lane, loses the handle, picks it up, kicks it out. McCollum wide open right corner three. Can't get it to go down. Towns the rebound. Quick outlet to Bridges. Carlton Towns doing a great job with his outlet passing here today, as he's tend to do, as he's tend to have done all season long. Bridges up top, being guarded by Alexander Walker, calling for a Towns screen. Bridges coming to his left off the Towns screen. Good screen from Towns. Bridges manipulating his way into the paint. Stops, turns, spins, kicks it out to Towns. Extra pass to Brunson. Wide open right corner three. Brunson comes up short as he continues to miss fire from three-point range. Brother, we need these to go down, big dog. Here comes Johnson. Johnson picks up his handle. He's got nowhere to go. Good denial defense from the Knicks. They get it out to Alexander Walker being guarded by Bridges. Walker calling for a screen from Okongwu. Alexander Walker. Bullet pass over to Johnson. Attacking to his left against Brunson. Bump, Euro, floater. Got it high off glass and got it over Carlton Towns. It looked like he just kind of flipped it towards the rim, and he got it to go down. And here comes Brunson bringing it down the other way. Brunson gets it over to Towns. Catches, pump fakes, driving to his right past Okongwu down the lane. Big one-handed hammer for Karl-Anthony Towns, who was abusing Okongwu tonight offensively. 59-57, it's a two-point game. Dyson Daniels rushing it the other way. Can't get the scoop layup with the flip. Can't get it to go. And the Knicks arguing that it was a travel and a double dribble, and it was a very late whistle. They waited to see if Dyson Daniels was going to make it or not, and that is another foul on Karl-Anthony Towns here, I believe. Dyson Daniels is going to go to the foul line for two. Chi said Brunson is a liability right now. Sit him down. You can't sit your best player down. And I don't think he's necessarily a liability because he's still shooting the open shots, which is bare minimum what you need. But if this continues, you could definitely see a scenario where you need to limit Jalen Brunson's play tonight. But he does have 7 assists. So he's playing the way you guys want him to play. He's not forcing the issue offensively in terms of taking a ton of shots, but he is also moving the ball around extremely well as Daniels misses the second free throw. Towns yet another rebound. Brunson bringing it down the other way. He has it up top being guarded by Daniels. Brunson crosses over to his left. Off the Towns screen, pull up three. Nope, leaves it off the Towns at the last second. Kicks it out, Anunoby, wide open left corner three. What passing from the New York Knicks, and Anunoby misses the wide open left corner three. Here comes Alexander Walker bringing it down. He has it on the left wing. Quickly attacking Josh Hart at the bounce. Kicks it out the last second to Johnson. Catches and fires over Anunoby, and he knocks it down. That's not a good closeout from OG Anunoby whatsoever. You got to at least look to try and run him off the line and close out harder than that, OG Anunoby. That ball was in the air for forever. And Anunoby jogging out to the three-point line. Johnson makes him pay. Towns has it up top being guarded by Okongwu, hands it off to Bridges. Bridges pulls it out being guarded by Alexander Walker. 9 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Brunson up top being guarded by Daniels, driving to his right, past him, scoop away with the right hand, got it to go for Jalen Brunson. Nice driving finish there. Here comes Johnson pushing it the other way. Johnson up top, gets it over to Okongwu. Okongwu hands it off to McCollum, coming to his left, pulls it back out, coming to his right, off the Daniels screen. They call a moving screen on Daniels. The ball will go back to the Knicks. Okay, Bernard Johnson. What's up, Bernard? Buzzer Beater said, where the heck is AP? Where is AP tonight? This is a playoff intensity game. Brunson bringing it down. Bridges bringing it down. They get it over to Towns. Towns up top gets it over to Anunoby. Anunoby gets it over to Brunson, being ordered by Alexander Walker. Brunson coming to his right off the Towns screen. Brunson dancing with it. Crosses over to his left. In the lane. Throws up the floater. Got it to go from Jalen Brunson. Brunson wanted the foul as well, but they got the basket to go anyway. Johnson bringing it down the other way. They gets it over to Daniels. Daniels up top gets it over to Alexander Walker. Swings through to his left. Off the screen. Puts up the three. Got it to go. Alexander Walker picks up right where he left off. Here come the Knicks pushing it the other way, looking for an answer. Bridges lobs it over the top to Towns. Back to Bridges, over to Josh Hart, back to Anunoby, spins, kicks it back out to Josh Hart. He'll line up the left wing three. Josh Hart way off on that one. Loose ball. Daniels picks it up. It's a 3-on-1 fast break. Josh Hart trying to hustle back. Johnson kicks it out. McCollum as the trailer for a three. Got it to go. Back-to-back threes for the Atlanta Hawks. Gives them the 8-point lead. And we're going to get a timeout from the New York Knicks, and much needed one. Josh Hart not taking the open ones, man. He tried to give that extra pass to Anunoby, but they knew not to close out to Josh Hart. So they didn't close out strong to Josh Hart. They closed out strong to OG Anunoby to close the airspace and not give him an opportunity to shoot the three. Anunoby quickly passed it right back to Josh Hart, who shot a semi-contested three. and it was way off there. It allowed Mikal Bridges then also went for the offensive rebound instead of getting back on defense. That put the Knicks behind the 8 ball. And then it ended up being a 1-on-3 fast break. Josh Hart did a good enough job hustling back to at least force the initial turnaround from Jalen Johnson, but he hit CJ McCollum, clearly just trailing the play on back-to-back threes now, gives the Atlanta Hawks the 8-point lead. Randy said Brunson is not our best player, not this year. He is 1,000%, not even close, the best player on the team, brother. Dom Anthony said OG can't hide, can't hit the side of the big red barn. I mean, OG Anunoby, 13 points, tied for our leading scorer with Mikal Bridges. He's 5 for 11 from the field. Yes, he's had open threes that he's missed tonight. He's 3 for 8 from three-point range now, I believe. Matter of fact, let's double-check that. I think he's gotten a little too trigger-happy with his three-point shooting here tonight. Clearly, he's feeling it, but 3 for 8 from three-point range on mostly open shots. A couple of these, I will say, 2 or 3 of them, he shot very well-contested threes, and I didn't like them. Kind of just forced them up there. Sean Collins, what's up, Sean? He said, respect my Hawks. I got great respect for the Hawks, I've always had respect for the Hawks. Dom Anthony said, Knicks not hardly ready for postseason. They better pick it up soon. I don't know if you've been watching the full game, Dom Anthony, but this has been playoff intensity from the start, and it's been a back-and-forth game all night. Back-to-back threes gives them an 8-point lead. Let's see how the Knicks respond after the timeout. Buzzer Beater said, here we go. Some no-name gets hot and kills us? What are you talking about? So which player is a no-name? CJ McCollum, seasoned NBA vet, multiple playoff performances with the Portland Trailblazers, or Alexander Walker, who's in the running for most improved player, but also has really nice, impressive games in the postseason with the Minnesota Timberwolves the last couple of years. What players are no-names, brother? These are all well-known basketball players. This is a very good Atlanta Hawks team that's playing very well. Yuri said, we are contenders, Sheffy. Y'all don't want to see us in a 7-game series. I wouldn't go that far here. Tyrone F. Turner. What's up, Tyrone? If all the starters scored 20 points, we'd be back. We'd be okay. They would indeed. They would indeed. Jay Tizzle said, Portland CJ is so underrated. I think he is underrated as well. Never made an all-star team, but yeah, he was incredibly important there. Randy said he's just not as good as last year. That's a fair opinion to have, that Jalen Brunson's not as good as he was last year, for sure. Absolutely, there's definitely credence to that. But Karl-Anthony Towns is also not nearly as good as he was last year overall. You said y'all should have kept Tibbs? Nah, brother, Tibbs had to go. Sons Jen said the cafe is serving some sad sandwiches right now. Not even happy sandwiches, some sad sandwiches. All right, here we go. The New York Knicks bringing the ball down the court now. Brunson tries to get it to Josh Hart, but he gets ran over by CJ McCollum. It's an off-ball foul. Buzzer Beater said, none of the guys you named are all-stars. If all you know are all-stars, Buzzer Beater, you're not locked into the NBA enough, which is fine, but they're definitely not no-names at all. Also, Jalen Johnson was an all-star this year. Brunson, up top, curling to his left off the screen, stop, turn, spin in the paint, fall-away jumper comes up short. Jalen Brunson, brother. Killing us tonight. You got to knock down some of these shots, big dog. Hurting. You're hurting the offense. Very makeable shots. Alexander Walker up top being guarded by Bridges. Brunson switches onto him. Alexander Walker stops and pops for a 3. Comes up short. Rebound to Towns. Gets it over to Josh Hart, and Josh Hart will bring it down. Approaching the 7-minute mark. Bridges bringing it down. He's going to put McCollum in the post. Backing him down. Gets stripped by McCollum. McCollum's done that a couple of times tonight. Great hands from him. Dyson Daniels driving it down against Towns. Can't get a scoop layup to go. Bridges saves the rebound to Jalen Brunson. A dangerous save, but he did get it to Jalen Brunson. Great defense from the Knicks there. And Mikal Bridges doing a great job of saving that pass, or that loose ball. And they call it a loose ball foul, an off-ball foul on CJ McCollum as Anunoby tried to post him up, battling for positioning there. Patient Mike with the patient Mike. I need 20 from JB. Literally 15. He's 4 for 12 from the field tonight, which is not great. Not great. We can recover from this, but we gotta start. We gotta start the path. Brunson gets it into Towns. Towns has it up top. Towns fakes the handoff, keeps it, hits Brunson, back door against Alexander Walker in the lane, throws up a floater. Too strong, can't get it to go. And here comes Dyson Daniels bringing it down the other way. Daniels gets it over to Johnson. Johnson coming to his right. McBride has subbed in. Brunson and McBride run into each other. And Jalen Johnson down the lane throws down a big one-handed hammer against OG Anunoby. And it's a 10-point deficit for the New York Knicks. Here come the Atlanta Hawks. What kind of answer do the New York Knicks have? Brunson has it up top, being guarded by Alexander Walker, coming to his left off a Towns screen. Behind the back pass to Towns, catches, pump fakes, driving into the lane, pass fake, runs right into Okongwu, a foul, and one for Karl-Anthony Towns. Nice strong drive and nice finish for Karl-Anthony Towns for a possible three-point play. Trying to get 3 points right back. Gigi said, why would coach sit Bridges and not Brunson? This is a good question. It's a good question. I definitely don't want to see Jalen Brunson play the entirety of this third quarter, I'll tell you that. Buzzy Beater said we shouldn't be allowing a couple of journeymen to hit open threes. But I think that's a terrible opinion, Buzzy Beater. These are not a couple of journeymen at all. These are very good, high-caliber basketball players. Karl-Anthony Towns knocks down his technical free throw. And here comes Johnson bringing it down. Johnson has it up top, coming to his left, driving it down, in the lane, takes a foul, floater, can't get it to go, but he's going to go to the foul line for two. Don't love that foul call. It's a little soft touch foul. They got to show me a different angle on it. Josh Hart not arguing, though. Angel A1 Jerome, what's up, Angel? This is getting a little old. The New York Knicks going down by double figures. 7-point game right now. Jennifer Honori, what's up, Jen? It's Bible, alternate, playing hard, GG, though. Appreciate you, Jen, or Bible, appreciate you. Yours said the Knicks' offense sucks. The Knicks' offense is not the issue tonight, brother. This defense right now is allowing the Atlanta Hawks to hoop. They got to be better. I mean, they're playing good defense, and Alexander Walker is absolutely hooping here tonight. But now Jalen Johnson is starting to get off. Johnson knocks down both of his free throws. 6:15 to go as we are now approaching the halfway point of this third quarter. Brunson has it up top. Gets it over to Towns. Towns catches, pump fakes, drive to his left. Towns down the lane, leans in, layup. Got it to go down for Karl-Anthony Towns, and he wanted the foul call. He did not get it. 73-66. Daniels pushing it the other way. They get over to Alexander Walker, curling off the screen. They got Anunoby chasing him, coming to his left, loses the ball. And Alexander Walker was out of bounds. Great defense from OG Anunoby there. Karl-Anthony Towns also on the hard hedge, forced the turnover. Good defense from the Knicks there. They force another turnover. 12 turnovers for the Knicks, 10 turnovers for the Atlanta Hawks. Turnovers have absolutely killed the Knicks here today. They're not a very high turnover team when they're at their best, and they are turning it over like crazy here. Alexander Walker flops, looking for the foul. They kick it over to McBride, misses the wide open three. Rebound to Daniels. We got to hit the open ones. They go over to Alexander Walker, down the lane in the paint, flips it up high off glass. Way off on that one. Great defense, transition defense for Karl-Anthony Towns, hustling down low to protect that basket. I think Karl-Anthony Towns has played some great defense here tonight. Towns will fire a deep logo three, and he'll knock it down. Yes, sir. Karl-Anthony Towns is the trailer. We love to see that it's back to a 4-point game and a timeout for the Atlanta Hawks. This is exactly what you want to see. You want to see some sort of response. And the Knicks responded. I try to make the analogy all the time, guys. You got to look at it like a boxing match. So game of runs. One team's going to come out. They're going to find a rhythm. They're going to find something that works, or a player's going to get hot and start knocking down a couple of shots. And sometimes you just gotta absorb the hits. Sometimes you got to play on the ropes. You got to play the rope-a-dope. And sometimes you got to lean on the ropes, take some of the hits, let the opponent tire themselves out, call a timeout, recover, come back out, and go, okay, now I got a response for you. Now I'm going to start swinging back. And the Knicks are swinging back right now. It's a 4-point game, 73-69, 5:20 to go here in this third quarter. And also, the New York Knicks have their bench units still waiting to come in. McBride is the only sub so far. But Mitchell Robinson, Landry Shamet, and Jordan Clarkson played very well in that first half, whereas the Atlanta Hawks bench struggled in that first half. So we'll see how they battle it out here in the second half. Yours said, I love Dyson Daniels, but he got to learn how to dribble. His shooting got better, so you're not mad? Shooting is still a big issue, though. Teams will leave him butt naked, wide open from three. He is a worse shooter than Josh Hart, and that's saying something. Kay Hayes said, I would say take Brunson out of the game because he's been bad on both sides, but at least he draws the defense. I mean, that is part of the reason why he struggled a bit. He has struggled offensively here today with his shooting is because Dyson Daniels and Nickeil Alexander-Walker are absolutely elite perimeter defenders. And that is why the Knicks have found ways, because Brunson is still able to draw the attention of the defense, and the Knicks have found ways, and so has Karl-Anthony Towns, found ways to feed Karl-Anthony Towns off the attention Brunson has drawn, and also feature OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges off the attention that the other players have drawn. Jalen Brunson, by the way, 9 assists, right? You guys want more assists for Jalen Brunson? You want him to be more of a playmaker, more of a passer? He's giving it to you. And it's still not good enough, and I get it. He needs to be better from the field. This is absolutely something kill Jalen Brunson for. Brother, you got to knock, especially the open ones, man. When you get open shots, you got to knock those down. The contested ones, mid-range, fall-away, okay, I get that. You got to knock. He's had like 2 or 3 open threes here today, and he's missed them all. Got to knock down the open ones, big dog. But 9 assists. You guys wanted more playmaking from Jalen Brunson? He's doing it, right? They're playing through Towns. They're playing through Anunoby. They're playing through Bridges. They're allowing other guys to get involved, as he's always has. That has always been the case. Yours said Josh Hart just running. It kind of feels like that here tonight. He's not been instrumental here for the Knicks. I think for the most part, he's also played very good defense. I don't want to point that out, but Buzzy Beaters and Alexander Walker has been on 4 teams in 6 years. That's a journeyman. That's a guy trying to find his spot in the league, brother. A journeyman is an end-of-the-bench guy who is on a different team every other season. Nickeil Alexander-Walker was trying to find his spot in the NBA. That is different. A young player is not a journeyman, especially one who starts to develop like this. I'll tell you what, Buzzer Beater, he won't be on 4 teams over the next 6 years. I'll tell you that. He's become that good. That is the point. Yer said it's okay. He's been with us for, he'll be with us with a long, yeah, absolutely, Yer, absolutely. Raymond said, put in Mitch and Diawara. We did not see Diawara in the first half, and I doubt we see Diawara in the second half here. It seems like our playoff rotation will be Shamit, Robinson, McBride, and Clarkson. Robinson comes in. They swing it out. Extra pass. Kuminga in the corner. Towns does not go for the pump fake. Kuminga driving it down, kicks it out to Daniels, hands it off to Vincent, over to Kuminga. Extra pass. Johnson left corner 3. Well short. Rebound to Daniels, though. And the Knicks, again, getting killed. Not boxing out on the perimeter. Lock in on the rebounding. My goodness. Deuce McBride not boxing out Dyson Daniels as he runs right past him to pick up that loose ball rebound. Way too reliant on the bigs of Karl-Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson to snag these rebounds as Daniels knocks down the first free throw. You made a great extra rotation, forced multiple extra passes from the Hawks, and they still ended up with an open look for Jalen Johnson in the corner, and he missed the 3 anyway. And then you give an extra point over to Daniels. He does miss the second free throw. He's not a very good free throw shooter, so at least you walk away with only 1 point on that defensive possession there for the Knicks. Brunson has it up top. Being guarded by Kuminga on a switch. They get over to Towns. He's being guarded by Daniels. Towns faces up out by the 3-point line. Jab step, coming to his left. Now pulls it out. Inside pass to McBride. Catches. Pulls it out to the 3-point line, being guarded by Mohamed Gay. McBride blows past him, but he recovers. Stop, turn, pivot, fall away. Can't get it to go, and it doesn't matter because it ends up being in a shot clock violation. McBride overall has not loved his process here today. Moving a step too slow. 5-point game. It's part of coming back from the injury. You could tell he's rusty, but the decision-making got to be faster, quicker, and better overall. Johnson bringing it down, coming to his left. Stops, pump fakes, gets it over to Kuminga. Kuminga in the corner being guarded by McBride. Gets it back up top to Johnson. Gets it back to Kuminga being guarded by McBride. They show a double team, cross-court pass. Mohamed Gay, right wing 3. In and out, can't get it to go. Brunson the rebound. Jalen Brunson will bring it down. All right, guards got to sneak in and grab those rebounds too. Approaching the 4-minute mark to get over to Robinson. Hands it back off to Brunson. Brunson coming to his left. Stops. Over to Bridges. Driving to his right. Tries to kick it back over to Brunson, but gets knocked out of bounds by Mohamed Gay. Bruce Fallon said, what's the Knicks fan representation tonight in Atlanta? I haven't noticed. I haven't noticed. I got the volume on very low, so I can't tell based off of the crowd sound. And they haven't really panned over to the crowd all that often. They call a foul on Kuminga before the ball's inbounded? Is that what it is? So it's a free point. No, they're going to call it on the pass. Buzzy Beater said, I just Googled journeyman and Nickeil Alexander Walker came up. John Mazzola, what's up, John? They lob it into Towns. Towns in the post against Kuminga. Backing him down. Backing him down. Backing him down. Pump fake. Lean in. Puts up the jumper. Got it to go anyway for Karl-Anthony Towns. It's just a star being a star. It's good defense for Kuminga. But Towns got it to go down anyway. Here comes Kuminga bringing it down the other way, being guarded by Robinson. Kuminga is going to attack Robinson off the bounce, leans in, pump fake, spins, got nowhere to go, got nowhere to go, got nowhere to go. Tries to kick it out, and Bridges gets the steal. Bridges pushing it the other way, gets caught in the air, kicks out to McBride. McBride at left wing 3 in transition, a terrible pass, can't get it to go, fight for the loose ball rebound. Johnson picks it up, it's a 2-on-1 fast break. Robinson diving for it, gets the steal. Mitchell Robinson over to Brunson, back to Bridges, scoop layup, got it to go. Mitchell Robinson, my goodness. He comes up holding his hand. He waves off Mike Brown, I think. Just looked like he hurt his left hand or something diving for that loose ball. But he seems fine. Flexing it. He's fine. He's good. Alexander Walker up top, coming to right off the screen. He's being guarded by Brunson. Gets into the mid-range, loses the handle, picks it up, kicks it out. Kuminga up top, wide open, straightaway 3. Can't get it to go. Robinson the rebound in the paint. And they get over to Brunson. Brunson bringing it down. Robinson still looking at his hand and flexing a little bit, but I think maybe it just hurt and not necessarily an injury. And Kuminga picks up a foul. Karl-Anthony Towns rushes down the other end of the court, tries to post him up, and they call the foul on Kuminga, trying to battle him for possession, or trying to battle for positioning there. Benzino, what's up, Benzino? Yer said, what are the Hawks doing? What are they doing? Yer, what are they doing? They're getting smacked up by my Knicks right now, big dog. I tried to tell you earlier, but you didn't listen. Daniel Dash, what's up, Daniel Dash? I was just learning about Australian volcanoes. Interesting topic. (74-73), 3 minutes to go. Shamet is in. Brunson up top, off the inbounds. Picks up his handle, gets it over to Shamet, back to Brunson. He's being guarded by Okongwu on a switch. Brunson's going to lick the dance. Brunson crossing over, mid-range pull-up jumper in rhythm, but he can't get it to go down. Battle for the loose ball rebound. And they can't corral it. They get over to McCollum, pushing it the other way, leaves it off for Johnson in the paint, goes up, layup, misses it, battle for the loose ball rebound. Robinson knocks it away from Okongwu. Wow, the Knicks defense in the paint. Johnson really struggling to finish through the Knicks size right now. Bridges, a left wing 3, his first one of the night, can't get it to go. Robinson comes flying in, can get the tip. Nice battle, but now it's a 4-on-3 fast break. Kuminga runs through Brunson, down the lane, they kick it out. CJ McCollum an open 3, can't get it to go. Battle for the loose ball rebound and gets knocked out to Shamet, and let's slow it down. And Shamet will walk it down the other way, yes indeed. Shamet bringing it down to get over to Brunson. Brunson up top being guarded by Alexander Walker. Brunson coming to his right after Robinson. Screen, snaking it back to his left hand, driving it down in the paint. Stop, pump fake, inside pass to Robinson. Layup, got it to go. There you go. Brunson, his 10th assist. He's got the double-double, and the New York Knicks take a 1-point lead. 75-74. And both teams, man, battling it out here. Under 2 to go in this third quarter. 1-point game. Loud let's go Hawks chants in the building. McCollum steps back, kicks it out in the backcourt, and Jalen Johnson can save it. And it's another turnover for the Hawks, struggling to finish or struggling to execute their offense here. Really nice, solid, disruptive defense for the Knicks. Mitchell Robinson putting his body on the line here tonight. He is in playoff form, man. He looks great out there. Moving well. Bonita Crandon. What's up, Crandon? Joel Palin, what's up, Joel? Got off my lawn record. Said, after this game, I'm going down to East LA to buy Sitacongas. Nice. Bruce Fowler said, some smart GM is going to overpay Mitch. No, brother, come on. Yeah, that smart GM is going to be the New York Knicks. That's going to be Leon Rose, big dog. We're going to bring Mitch back. Come on. Brunson has it up top. Jab step. Coming to his right for Robinson screen. Brunson pull up, straightaway 3. Line me up. Got it to go for the captain. He's warming up for the fourth quarter run. There you go, JB. There you go. A little over a minute to go. McCollum has it up top. 4-point lead for the New York Knicks. Couple of more defensive stops to end the quarter off strong. They get it over to Kuminga, being guarded by Brunson. Swings through to his right. Pulling it back out of the double team. They kick it back up top to Alexander Walker, being guarded by Bridges. Blowing past him in the lane. Puts it up. Can't get it to go, but he draws the foul. He's going to the foul line for 2. 1:02 to go. Randy said, all Cat this quarter? Brother, it's been Cat. It's been Brunson. It's been Robinson. It has not been all Karl-Anthony Towns this quarter. It's been the whole team, brother. K. Hazy said, finally, JB. Finally, Jalen Brunson. My goodness. He's got 7 points in this third quarter. Heating up a little bit. Karl-Anthony Towns is going to sub back in for the final minute here. Robinson needs that breather, man. We're going to need him in the fourth. Daniel Dash said he does look great since that early offensive rebound. He looks absolutely fantastic here tonight, man. absolutely fantastic. Can ESPN stop playing with our website and stop moving our scoreboard up and down? My goodness. Alexander Walker knocks down both of his free throws. Brunson bringing it down. Under a minute to go. Brunson sees a hard hedge by the half-court line, and he almost throws it away. Shamet saves it over to Bridges. Bridges back to Shamet. And the Knicks start their offense with 10 seconds to go. That's not great. Great defense from the Hawks. Brunson slipped past the Towns, down the lane, takes a bump, can't get the floater to go down. He was looking for the foul call. He didn't get it. Great defense from Okongwu. Here comes McCollum pushing it the other way. Quick crossover to his right against Bridges. Stop, pump fake. Leans in, kicks it out. Okongwu as the trailer. The straightaway three. Got it to go for Onyeka Okongwu, and the Hawks back up by 1. 33 seconds to go, and the Knicks will bring it down for what should be their final offensive possession of the quarter. And the Hawks, great shot from Okongwu, will get the possession back at least one more time unless there's an offensive rebound for the Knicks. Brunson coming to his right at the Town screen. Brunson driving it down, stops, turns, spins, has it in the mid-range now. Foul line extended, being guarded by Alexander Walker. Puts him in the post, backing him down. Spins off of him, pump fake, pulls it back, fall away jumper, can't get it to go. Battle for the loose ball, Shaman knocks it out. Anunoby picks it up, kicks it out to Towns. Towns gets it over to Brunson. Will hold it for the final shot of the quarter, 10 seconds to go. Brunson being guarded by Okongwu. Knicks trail by 1. Brunson gets it over to Anunoby, left wing 3, OG, got it to go! OG Anunoby gives the Knicks the 2-point lead, and CJ McCollum will just heave up a three-quarters court heave. Comes up short, grazes the rim. Wow, that was close. But that will end our third quarter. It is a 2-point game, 81-79. It's been a playoff type of atmosphere here tonight from both sides. Throw 12 minutes on the clock, may the best team win. My goodness, what a game. What a game! This is what I'm talking about. Bible said if this is the playoff matchup going to Game 7, it might. Man, it might. The East is so stacked. It's so stacked. All these teams are good. All these teams are so good, man. Alexander Walker after 20 first half points. He had 5 points in that third quarter. Here comes the fourth quarter time. Who's going to take over? Who's going to take over? Daniel Dash said OG has been perfect. Regarding the corner pocket three, he's missed a couple of, yes, for the most part. He's like I said, he's been a bit trigger happy here tonight. The Orlando Magic are just absolutely dominating the Pistons tonight. This is an impressive victory for the Orlando Magic if they can hold on to this lead, up by 25 points right now. Are the Pistons playing anybody? No, they're playing their bench guys for the most part. Well, Thompson's playing, Dern is playing, but still, Danis Jenkins, Thompson, Herter, Dern and Paul Reed. Yeah, they're playing a lot of their end of the bench guys. They have the number 1 seed locked in, so it does not make sense to go all out the remainder of the season. But Banchero's hooping on them. That's nice to see. If you're a Magic fan, of course. Madrasi. What's up, Madrasi? Bruce said first round is 5 games. Atlanta won't see the second round. The Cavs are locked in a tight one with the Grizzlies. If the Cavs lose, obviously it gives the Knicks more breathing room for that 3 seed. 76ers and the Spurs locked in a tight one. Is Joel Embiid playing? Do we get Embiid versus Wemby here? We do indeed. We do indeed. Embiid with 11 on 4 for 8 shooting. 0 for 2 from 3. Wembanyama, 9 points, 3 boards, an assist. He does have 2 turnovers. He does have 3 blocks. Nick asks, it has been a great game. Now we take a run. Now you go on a nice run. You had a nice run to close out the third. You get another nice run to open up the fourth, and you don't look back. You don't look back. And then our late game later tonight, the Blazers taking on the Nuggets. That should be tipping off in about 10 minutes. Corey said, Hawks about to take the Knicks hard out. We will see, brother. We will see. Here we go. This has been a fun game, man. It's been back and forth all night long. Ricardo said, who do you want the Knicks to face in the first round? 76ers, Hawks, or Raptors? If I have to choose between those 3 teams, Ricardo, it's definitely got to be the Raptors, who are probably the weaker playoff team this season. It's got to be the Raptors. Buzzer Beater said, I've never seen a player as situational as Mitch. Ewing and Cartwright are spinning in their graves. Wow, brother. Not the night to say that when Mitchell Robinson has absolutely dominated his matchup tonight. No idea where that's coming from, big dog. User, what's up, User? The Hawks will crumble in the playoffs if they play the Knicks. They could. Or they could put up a very good fight. Bible said, these games are so good. I'm going to be sad when the NBA season is over. We still got 2 months. Still got 2 months. Obviously, the season will be winding down for sure, but Got more than enough time. Here we go. Bruce said, everyone's drinking the Atlanta, Orlando, Cleveland Kool-Aid like they aren't Detroit's, Boston's, and New York. Shaking my head. Well, they'll still be favorite. Those three teams will still be the favorites in those series, but those teams could absolutely cause an upset. It's possible. The Knicks are 44-2 this season when leading coming into the third quarter, by the way. That's an incredible record. CJ McCollum misses the pull of 3 times. The rebound, here comes Shaman. Shaman bringing it down, gets it over to McBride. McBride up top, being guarded by McCollum. Gets it over to Towns, right wing, open 3, line me up. Comes up short, rebound. Clarkson knocks it out. Shaman can't save it. It's a good effort from Clarkson. Shaman just wasn't in the spot Clarkson thought he was going to be, and it ends up going out about. And Shaman gives a shout out to Jordan Clarkson, like, my bad, I probably should have been there, but. Mark, how we doing? It's been a back and forth affair, man. It's been a tough game through and through. Both teams playing pretty well here tonight. McCollum has it up top, coming to his left of the Okongwu screen. They swing it out. Rizachet, open right corner 3. Can't get it to go. Halfway in, halfway out. Rebound gets knocked out to Clarkson, and he throws a bullet pass to McBride. McBride can't catch it. Rizachet down the lane, leaves it off to Daniels. Daniels pulls it out and kicks it out to Okongwu, coming to his left. Now they kick it out to Kuminga. Jab step, coming to his right. Kuminga driving it down, kicks it out to Okongwu. Pass through his fingers. He picks it up. Now he's going to drive it to his right against Towns. In the lane, gets blocked by Anunoby from behind, and it goes out of bounds. It'll remain with the Atlanta Hawks here. Bible said Ewing passed away. Ewing did not pass away. What are we doing? What are we doing? Ewing is fully alive. They get it over to McCollum. McCollum dancing with it along the baseline. Step back, fall away, mid-range jumper over Towns. Can't get it to go. Rebound to Daniels, though. He misses the putback. Battle for another rebound back to Daniels. And the Knicks getting killed on the offensive glass, mostly by Dyson Daniels here tonight. Rizachet misses the 3, offensive rebound to McCollum. McCollum has it in the paint, trying to dribble it out, loses the handle, and it's going to end up being a kickball on Karl-Anthony Towns. 14 back on the clock for the Atlanta Hawks. The Knicks got to grab some of these rebounds, man. My goodness, what are you doing? Getting killed on the glass right now. Next time out, we got to check out what the rebounding battle is looking like. It's definitely being dominated by the Atlanta Hawks here tonight. Jalen Johnson quickly comes back in for Rizachet, who's been a bit of a disaster here tonight for the Atlanta Hawks. Part of the reason why you probably should not believe in the Atlanta Hawks playoff run is they don't really have much of a bench at all. Robinson's going to come in. He's going to come in for Karl-Anthony Towns right now. Okay, no Brunson, no Towns. I don't know about this lineup. We go back to the four bench guys in with Anunoby as the lone starter. We saw this in the first half. See how it works out for them here. This is definitely a defensive first lineup, so they're going to have to lock up defensively. Okongwu puts it up. Robinson swats it into the backcourt. Anunoby beats Johnson to it for a two-handed slam. My goodness, Robinson and OG Anunoby dominating defensively. I guess that was just situational, though. That actually didn't happen. That was just the situation that happened. McCollum throws up the floater, can't get it to go. Battle for the loose ball. Kuminga picks it up, step back foul line jumper, and yet another offensive rebound. The Knicks would have a significantly larger lead here if it weren't for them getting killed on the glass here, especially on these long rebounds. But they're doing a terrible job of boxing out here tonight. And they call an offensive foul on OG Anunoby. Or is it against Robinson on the screen? Might be against Robinson. By the way, Mitchell Robinson I just saw holding his wrist a little bit. Flexing the wrist again a little bit. Don't love to see that. Seems fine though. He's clapping it up. It's just probably a little bruised or hurt or something. They get it down low to McCollum in the paint. Good rotation from Clarkson. McCollum now has it against McBride. Spins towards the baseline, step back, mid-range jumper over McBride. Got it to go. That's excellent defense from Deuce McBride, but that's just better offense from CJ McCollum. Here comes McBride, bringing it down, coming to his left, off the Robinson screen, leans in, snaking it back to his right hand, step back, mid-range jumper, trying to respond, off the back rim, can't get it to go, rebound to Johnson. And now here comes Jalen Johnson, bringing it down the other way. Hit ahead pass to Kuminga, being guarded by Shamet. Kuminga driving it down, Shamet slips and falls. They kick it up top, Okongwu, wide open straightaway 3, off the back rim, can't get it to go. Clarkson does a nice job securing the long rebound. He's going to walk it down the other way. Okay, we got to calm. We got to run some half-court offense here. We don't have a go-to guy in the lineup. No Brunson, no Towns, no Anunoby. Oh, Anunoby isn't. He jab steps, throws up the left corner 3, can't get it to go. Rebound to Kuminga. See, but Anunoby getting way too trigger happy with these threes, man. I'd prefer an attack. Here comes Kuminga, dancing with it against McBride, driving it down to kick it out. Jalen Johnson, the straightaway three over Robinson. Got it to go for Jalen Johnson. And the Knicks have done a great job of keeping Jalen Johnson out on the perimeter, and he's killed them for the most part here tonight, not hesitating and knocking them down. I don't love fourth quarter minutes with no Brunson and no Towns. I don't like that. I don't like that rotation. Let's get that out of there, Mike Brown. No go-to offensive guy? Don't like that. Zane said, first draw in NBA history for real. This is just classic back-and-forth playoff basketball right here, man. I'm loving it. You just said we have bigger men on the bench, but don't get in the game. It's not really about size. It's just about positioning. It's about positioning. And the Knicks have done a terrible job of positioning themselves. Kennard said, I thought JJ was looking hesitant as opposed to all. I think he's been pretty confident shooting the open shot when he's had it. He's got 21, 10, and 3 so far tonight for Jalen Johnson, 8 for 17 from the floor. I think, from what I've seen, I feel like he's been pretty confident in taking the open 3 when it's been there. To that point, though, Kennard, I think he has been hesitant overall in terms of anything outside the three-point line, like when to drive, when to look for a floater, when to try and get all the way to the rim. They've defended Jalen Johnson pretty well tonight. They've also taken away a lot of his playmaking. Only 3 assists tonight for Jalen Johnson, which has helped the Knicks. Yours said, keep Brunson on the bench and Cat. Yeah, I don't love a lineup with no Brunson and no Towns, and particularly to start the fourth quarter. I don't understand that. We got 8:30 to go here. I suspect we will see a return of either Brunson or Towns after this timeout. Maybe both, but definitely one of them. Kennard said, exactly, looks tentative with playmaking. Yeah, And to that point, the fact that he's been so confident from 3 has really helped his game tonight because he's for the most part, struggled inside the arc. And if it wasn't for his three-point shooting tonight, he'd have a pretty bad game. Let's look at it real quick. Jalen Johnson tonight has hit 3 threes. He's 3 for 5 from three-point range. So 3 of his 8 made shots have come from the three-point line, which is not a huge part of his game. Mark, how am I doing? I'm doing pretty good, Mark. I'm doing pretty good. We got a nice early game tonight, so I could actually go to bed at a reasonable time. Sons Jen said, Mike Brown gives me fits sometimes. Yeah, I don't love the rotation, man. Don't love it. Don't love it. Dyson Daniels with 12 rebounds, though. I did say we wanted to look at the team stats in the rebounding battle. They have 19 offensive rebounds to the Knicks 7, getting absolutely destroyed on the glass here tonight. And it's not really by their bigs. It's by their wings and their guards. Dyson Daniels has destroyed them. Madara to be. What's up, Madara? Felipe said, is this a possible playoff matchup? It is a possible playoff matchup. It is indeed. It is indeed. Why am I here? I wanted to be here. Oh, no, I wanted to be here. All right. No, I wanted to be here. Jalen Johnson has 12 rebounds today. Dyson Daniels has 12 rebounds today, and 6 of them have been offensive rebounds. For a 6'5 guard, that's not good enough from the New York Knicks, man. That's not nearly good enough. You're a much better rebounding team than that. That's terrible. Terrible. Shaman has it up top, being guarded by Alexander Walker. You get over to Brunson. Brunson has subbed back in. No Towns yet. Josh Hart also subbed back in with him. Brunson driving to his right against Daniels. Has it along the baseline. Dancing with it. Trying to take the baseline. Kicks out to McBride. In the corner, being guarded by Kuminga. Fires up the 3. Can't get it to go. And after the 2 made threes to start the game from Deuce McBride, he has started to waver as the game's gone on. He's continued to play good defense as he always does, but we need some shot making from Deuce McBride here tonight. Johnson, fall-away jumper over Josh Hart. Can't get it to go. Excellent defense from Josh Hart, forcing the tough shot. Good rebound from Robinson. Here comes Brunson. Brunson up top, crossing over to his right, off the Robinson screen. Pump fakes, pass fake over to Hart. Hart fakes the pass, driving it down. A little fall-away jumper in the paint, and Josh Hart gets a nice friendly roll for his first basket of the night. Josh Hart finally a 2-point basket. My goodness. He's 1 for 3 from the field tonight. He hasn't really taken a ton of shots. Kuminga gets it over to Johnson. Jalen Johnson up top, being run by Hart. Down low to Daniels, driving it down, loses the handle. Picks it up, he's got nowhere to go with it. They get it over to Alexander Walker in the right corner, being guarded by McBride. Jab step, pump fake. Ball knocked out of his hands. It's going to stay here with Atlanta, but 1.9 on the clock. Excellent defense from McBride there. Excellent defense. S2Mar. What's up, S2Mar? Sorry for being late. So what's up? What's up, S2Mar? Never late, brother. Never late. So they have 1.9 on their shot clock, so they got to get it in and shoot it. They lob it into Kuminga, but he can't get the layup to go, but a foul is called. That's such dumb defense from the Knicks. They have 1.9 on the clock. Why is Mitchell Robinson guarding Mohamed Gay and Josh Hart is guarding Kuminga down low in the paint? Kuminga is bigger and more athletic than Josh Hart. Why would you not put Mitchell Robinson on Kuminga there, who's clearly standing under the basket for the lob attempt? At least he misses a free throw. That's just, like, those are the small things that, like, could decide a playoff game. And tonight I'm considering a playoff game because it's had playoff atmosphere and both teams have treated it like a playoff game. Kenar said, great play by Atlanta. Dumb defense by the Knicks. It's not even, I wouldn't even say it's a great play by Atlanta as Kuminga knocks down the second free throw at least. I think it's just dumb defense by the Knicks. All they did was just lob it over the top of Josh Hart to Kuminga. He had the matchup advantage. It's just dumb defense by the Knicks. Put Robinson under the basket. The only thing they can do is either catch and shoot or throw a lob. Force them to make a jump shot off the catch and shoot. Brunson off the screen, puts up the straightaway three off the back rim, can't get it to go. Robinson battling on the glass, knocks the rebound in the air. McCollum knocks it loose, saves it, and he stays in bounds. What a save from CJ McCollum. Here comes McCollum bringing it down against McBride. They get over to Alexander Walker, curling off the screen, the straightaway three, got it to go. And Nickeil Alexander-Walker remains in fuego here tonight. He is now 9 of 13 from the field for 28 points. Brunson coming to his left, driving it down in the lane, kicks it out to nobody, and gets stolen by Kuminga. Where's Karl-Anthony Towns? He's been fantastic tonight. Where is he? You have to lean Towns here. Get him to the scorer's table. There, Mike Brown, going to the scorer's table, going to the bench, calling for somebody. Kuminga kicks it out to Johnson, inside pass to Mo Gay against Robinson in the paint, leaves it off to McCollum. Wild layup, can't get it to go. Good rebound from Jalen Brunson and the Knicks. We got to go and run. It's a 5-on-4. They get over to Shamit. Shamit, extra pass to Josh Hart, cutting down the lane, kicks it back up top. Brunson, wide open straightaway three. You got to get that one. Thank you, Jalen Brunson. Back to a 2-point game it goes. 6 minutes to go. Where's Karl-Anthony Towns? Where is he at? Where's Towns? Where's Big Cat? He's been fantastic tonight. He is at the scorer's table. Thank you. Thank you. Jalen Johnson has it up top. Swings through to his left. McBride picks him up. Knocks the ball loose. Loose ball. No by Shamit. Pay attention, Landry. Ball rolls right past Landry Shamit. Pay attention. Get Shamit out of this game. Nickeil Alexander-Walker puts up the three over Robinson. Can't get it to go. Rebound to Brunson. All right. Here comes Brunson bringing it down the other way. Under 6 minutes to go. Brunson up top, being guarded by Alexander Walker, calling for the Shamit screen. He wants CJ McCollum switched onto him. They ghost it. They get it over to Shamit, cutting to the rim. Wild layup off glass, can't get it to go. Robinson, the off in the rebound, comes down with it, puts it back up, can't get it to go. Another attempt, and he tips it up and in. Mitchell Robinson just padding his stats on the glass. I love to see it. And it's tied at 90 and a timeout for the Atlanta Hawks. Mitchell Robinson throwing up a little bit of a flex. We got to end this game with a double big lineup. Mitchell Robinson playing way too well here tonight to not. He's got 8 points and 12 rebounds. Absolutely dominating the Hawks on the glass here tonight. If only anybody else would help up and step the bigs tonight. Robinson and Towns have done their job cleaning up the glass, but the guards got to come in. Josh Hart with 2 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists is not good enough, big dog. You need to be the guy grabbing those loose ball rebounds, man. And he has not been. Where has Josh Hart been? And he's played really nice, solid defense on Jalen Johnson, but I need more. I know I'm asking for a lot, Josh Hart, but I need more. Just that's and Nickeil, 11 in the first, 4 ever after eats me alive. Yeah, Nickeil Bridges here tonight, 11 points in that first quarter, and he's sitting with 15 points here tonight. 7 for 12 from the field. He's only taking the 1-3. That's what eats me alive. Like, you got to be a 3-and-D wing, man. You got to get that volume to 5 or 6 3-point attempts a game, and you got to be shooting for around 40%. Only 1 3-point attempt tonight is not good enough. Now, he has taken the ball to the basket and actually driven to the rim, which is nice. 7 for 12 from the field. 5 boards, 2 assists from Nickeil Bridges. But, yeah, they needed more. They needed more, especially after that first quarter. Just a bit more. Jalen Brunson up to 16 points, but he's 6 for 18 from the field. Not great. Karl-Anthony Towns subbing back in. Thank goodness. Let's rock the double big lineup. Don't take Mitchell Robinson out of the game. I would take either McBride or Shamit out of the game right now. Heavy VFX. What's up, Heavy? Or Hexy. What's up, Hexy? I need OG for one more board, please. He might get it. He might. He's got 18 points, 4 boards. Isaiah Gardner said, nah, Hart needs to do more and get more rebounds. He does. He does. Now, look, there are reasons why Josh Hart is not rebounding as well tonight, and that's because he's guarding Jalen Johnson, and so his priority is to stay as close to Jalen Johnson as possible so he can't roam off as much and snag a bunch of crazy loose ball rebounds. That is, most of the point. And there's my guy, AP, with a very generous super chat. Appreciate you, AP. He said, I never thought I would hate a 50-win Knicks team, but this group hit the likes for the cook. Appreciate you, AP. I don't understand hating this team. I don't hate this team. I understand where the hate comes from, don't get me wrong. I'm not blind to the frustrations, the inconsistencies, and you guys have been privy to my frustrations. I talk for 3 hours every single night about the New York Knicks. We're here every single night, and whether we're covering Knicks games or not, I'm ranting about the Knicks, because you guys tend to ask questions about the Knicks. But I don't hate this team. Now, they frustrate me, and I get annoyed, of course. But this is an incredibly fun basketball team, especially when they're playing like this. They're playing well. There's things they need to clean up for sure, but my goodness. And they put the highlight on Mitchell Robinson as they should. He's been fantastic tonight. Not good, not great. He's been fantastic. Here we go. Here we go. Who's Cat coming in for? Mitchell Robinson better stay on this court, man. Eric C said, I didn't need the Knicks to win regardless of a rebound by OG. If your bets are more important than fandom, I don't understand why you mingle with fans of the game. Here comes McCollum bringing it down. He has it up top, being guarded by Brunson. McCollum dancing with it. Gets it over to Alexander Walker, being guarded by Bridges. Alexander Walker coming to his right, off the McCollum screen, pulls it out. Brunson switches onto him. Alexander Walker dancing with it, coming to his left. Crosses over to his right, step back, mid-range, follow-away jumper, a tough shot, and he got it to go anyway. A long 2 for Alexander Walker. Got it to go. Buzzer Beater said, we need a center that can do that every game. Mitchell Robinson pretty much does it every game he plays, brother. Josh Hart has it up top, pulls it out, hands it off to Brunson. Brunson coming to his right off the Josh Hart screen. Brunson has it up top, being guarded by McCollum. Brunson on the right wing, driving it down, stops. He's got McCollum on him. Step back, fall away jumper for Brunson. Too strong, can't get it to go. Battle for the loose ball rebound. Towns rips it away from the Hawks. Has it in the paint. Gets it inside the Anunoby. Pump fakes, goes up and gets the foul on Daniels. What a rebound by Karl Anthony Towns. Surrounded by 3 Atlanta Hawks defenders. And Towns rips the rebound away. Heavy VFX said, it's very simple. I don't care about the Knicks. Yeah, I mean, I get it, brother. I get it. You're not a Knicks fan. You're just rooting for your bet tonight. I get it. Tommy Werfin, what's up, Tommy? It's just on paper they should be way better. I don't know, brother. The Atlanta Hawks have been very good tonight. I mean, they have been very good this season. On paper doesn't mean anything. Paper doesn't mean a single thing. Christian, what's up, Christian? Take Hart out now. Is Josh Hart in the game? Josh Hart is in the game. We got Brunson. Why is Mitchell Robinson on? We better be just resting Mitch for a couple of minutes here to put him back in. Get Mitchell Robinson back in this game, man. Throw the double big lineup in there. Throw the double big lineup in there. Josh Hart wanted a review to see if it's a goaltend, and on the replay, it might have been a goaltend. But Anunoby knocks down both of the free throws anyway, so we're tied at 92 with 4:30 to go. Timer slightly behind, but we'll catch up as the game goes on. McCollum has it up top, being guarded by Brunson. Coming to his left, pulling it back out. McCollum on the left wing, crosses over to his right, pulls it out. Josh Hart hedges out hard. McCollum lobs it over to Johnson on the left wing, being guarded by Hart. Great defense from Hart so far. Johnson leaning in, sees the double team, now driving to his right, shovels it inside to Dyson Daniels, who flips it up and in. Great pass from Johnson, and bad defense from the Knicks. Brunson gets it over to Towns up top, gets it over to back to Brunson on the right wing, driving it down, step back, pulls it out, kicks it back out to Towns. Towns cross-court pass to Josh Hart on the left wing, being guarded by Johnson, telling everybody to calm down, but everybody was already calm, Josh. Tries to swing it over to Bridges, and Johnson jumps the passing lane and gets the steal. Get Josh Hart out of this game. Get Mitchell Robinson back in, please. Alexander Walker, right wing 3, got it to go. And he's been in fuego here tonight. Well contested by Anunoby, but Alexander Walker's got the touch going tonight. Lewis, what's up, Lewis? Knicks in danger. Yeah, 5-point deficit now. Good timeout from the Knicks. Where is Mitchell Robinson? Where is Big Mitch? Zane said, what is Hart doing? Cardio. Hart is guarding Jalen Johnson and doing a decent job of it. I think he's done a really good job of making Jalen Johnson's night really difficult here. But yeah, we can go ahead and bring in Mitchell Robinson now and go to the double big lineup. Mitchell Robinson was playing way too well to pull him out of the game. Put him back in. Put him back in. Put him back in. Kenara said Alexander Mamukalashvili again. Kyle Alexander Walker 11 for 16 from the field tonight for 33 points. He cannot miss. And it's not like the Knicks have not played excellent defense on him. They're in his jersey. Alexander Walker just can't miss right now. He is 6 for 9. Oh, you can't see it. He is 6 for 9 from three-point range. 2 boards, 3 assists, 2 turnovers for Alexander Walker. He's been spectacular here tonight. The jump shot is there. David Hodge Jr. said Mike Brown is going to cost us the playoffs. Has no clue. I don't love the rotations, man. I don't love these rotations. Keno Hart said they're in the face, but he's doing MJ impression. He's doing a Steph Curry impression. This is from three-point range. This is not MJ. This is Curry. This is Steph Curry. I don't care who's in my vicinity. I'm firing it up there. If I got space, I'm shooting it. Jesus said, is Okongwu still on the court? Okongwu, I believe, is on the court. Okongwu is indeed on the court. Their starting lineup is out there. Felipe said playoffs with Sheffy are off the hook, probably. End of day said Knicks will lose to the Hornets and the Celtics. They will lose to the Hornets and Celtics end of the season games. We'll see. We'll see. Brunson bringing it down against Daniels. 5-point deficit. No Mitchell Robinson still. Towns over to Brunson. He knocks down the floater and one. Nice pass from Towns yet again. And Brunson can get those 3 points right back. Karl-Anthony Towns, 21, 11, and 4 so far here tonight. Fantastic game from Towns. Nice two-man game between Brunson and Towns yet again. Daryl Grant said Atlanta better not win. Christopher Ferranalo, what's up, Chris? Hart has low IQ, shoot the ball. Guy passes like crazy, and Bam turns it over. He's such a bad passer. He's a reckless passer. He's not a bad passer. He's actually a pretty good passer, but he's a reckless passer, and at times can be a poor decision maker. Here tonight, I have not loved his process offensively. I think he's been really bad offensively, but defensively, he's been really solid against Johnson. CJ McCollum dancing around to Johnson's screen. Josh Hart hedges out hard. They pick it up. They get it back down to Johnson. Loses the ball out of bounds, and it's going to stay with the Atlanta Hawks. Good hands from Brunson to knock it loose from Johnson from behind. 3:20 to go in this fourth quarter. It's a 2-point game. Odin with a Bowden. Atlanta about to belt New York. Sorry? I don't know if you know what the definition of that is, brother. It's a 2-point game. McCollum gets it into Alexander Walker. Left corner 3, fading out of bounds, and of course it goes in. No expectation of anything other than that happening. 7 for 10 from 3 for Alexander Walker here tonight. He's got the touch. Insane shooter right now. Towns has it on the left wing, being guarded by Okongwu. Towns coming to his right up for the Brunson screen. And it's a foul, and Alexander Walker out on the perimeter. Yours said, OMG, he's that guy. He's that guy tonight, man. And he's had games like this season. But that's it. Josh Hart, again, right in his jersey, well contested. And it does not matter. It does not matter. Brunson gets it into Towns. Towns up top. Gets over to Brunson, curling around again. Pump fake, steps through, scoop layup. Got it to go for Jalen Brunson. Nice move. Good footwork, all of the things. 100, 297, 250 to go. McCollum bringing it down. He has it up top. Brunson has 8 points in this quarter. His highest scoring quarter of the game. McCollum gets it over to Johnson. Jalen Johnson being guarded by Josh Hart. They kick it out to Alexander Walker, coming to his left, pulls it back out. Josh Hart knocks the ball loose. Alexander Walker recovers it, struggling with his handle, crosses over to his right, spins to his left, down the lane in the paint, wild scoop layup with the left hand, can't get it to go. Excellent defense from Josh Hart. And it's a shot clock violation. Excellent defense from Josh Hart, and that's why he remains in the game right now. Whew. Yours said clear out just for Walker. Well, they did there. He did there. And it ended up in a turnover. Here comes Brunson bringing it down over to Towns. Towns high post, hands it off to Brunson, coming to his left. Step back, left wing 3, Jalen Brunson. Line me up, JB, we're tied. Another assist to Karl-Anthony Towns. The two-man game between Towns and Brunson in full effect. It's crazy what happens when the center guards Karl-Anthony Towns. How fun it looks to watch Brunson and Towns operate together. McCollum spinning off, loses the hand on the ball. Brunson picks it up. We're pushing the other way. Brunson's going to look to drive against McCollum. Leans in. Floater. Got it to go for Captain Clutch. And the Knicks up by 2 with 2 minutes to go. And there we go. And there it is. Now you got to hold on to the lead. We got 2 minutes left. Back and forth these two teams go, man. What a game here tonight. What a game. Alexander Walker gets screened and loses his, so Brunson and Towns playing the handoff game. Towns hands it off to Brunson. Alexander Walker trying to go under. He loses his balance. He falls over. Brunson ends up with a wide open three. Then CJ McCollum trying to split the pick and roll hedge and instead ends up turning it over, mishandling the ball. Brunson picks it up, pushes it the other way, and knocks down the floater on the other end to give the Knicks the 2-point lead. By the way, Jalen Brunson, 20 points in the second half. 26 points, 13 assists. Insane game for Jalen Brunson, 26 and 13. Nickeil Alexander-Walker giving his own insane performance here tonight. 36 points on 12 for 18 shooting. CJ McCollum, 12 points on 5 for 17 shooting. Jalen Johnson, 21 points on 8 of 18 shooting. Not great. Gigi said, thank you, Brunson. Is that too much to ask for? Win us a game. This is what Jalen Brunson does, brother. This is what Jalen Brunson does. Though Jacob, what's up, Vel? Knicks in trouble? Are they? Are they? Dre, what's up, Dre? Is that our first lead? It is not our first lead, Dre. It's gone back and forth all night. Both teams have held leads here tonight. Kenny McLeod, what's up, Kenny? Brunson got the cape on, as he tends to do. Here we go. We got 2 minutes to go. Atlanta has the ball. Knicks up by 2. Johnson gets it into McCollum. McCollum being guarded by Brunson. McCollum coming to his right, blows right past Jalen Brunson in the lane, throws up the floater, gets a friendly bounce off the back of the rim, and he gets it to drop down. Bad defense for the Knicks, bad defense for Jalen Brunson. Just not cognizant. CJ McCollum went quickly. Brunson turned his head for a second, and McCollum beat him off the bounce. To get it to Towns in the high post, hands it off to Brunson. Brunson swings through to his left against Daniels. Stop, step back, fall away jumper. He's got the touch, but he can't get that shot to go down. Josh Hart with the offensive rebound, though. Kicks it out to Towns. Catches. Pump fakes. Pass fake. Kicks it out. Bridges. Wide open right wing three, and he can't get it to go. Josh Hart, another offensive rebound. And they get it out to Brunson. We'll hold it for a shot here. 1:20 to go. Josh Hart instrumental here in this fourth quarter run here. Brunson dancing with it. For all the talk we had about Josh Hart, he's coming up huge. Brunson dancing, crosses over, being guarded by Okongwu. Pump fake, leans in, steps through, scoop layup with the right hand, can't get it to go. Rebound to Okongwu. A terrible shot attempt for Jalen Brunson, doing too much there. Here comes Alexander Walker pushing the other way. We're tied at 1:02, a minute to go. Alexander Walker being guarded by Bridges. Coming to his right off a screen. Brunson switches onto him. He's going to look to cook. He sees the little man on him. Alexander Walker pulls it out. Calling for another screen, coming to his left. Town switches onto him. Rhythm dribble, pull up three. Too strong, can't get it to go. Anunoby, a big strong rebound in the paint. Gets it over to Brunson. Under a minute to go, 50 seconds. Jalen Brunson, Captain Clutch, being guarded by Alexander Walker here. What are we cooking? What do we got? He's calling for a screen from Josh Hart. Coming to his right off the screen. CJ McCollum switches onto him. Jalen Brunson is going to look to isolate and cook. Shot clock down to 5. Brunson dancing with it, loses the handle, picks it back up, crosses over to his right, step back, mid-range, puts up the jumper, well defended, King, gets off the front of the rim and gets the friendly bounce. Jalen Brunson gets it to go. Up by 2, the Knicks go. No threes allowed. 4-second difference between game clock and shot clock. McCollum has it up top, being guarded by Brunson. McCollum, he's going to wind down the clock a little bit here. He's going to look to go quickly, though, as well, because they want an offensive rebound opportunity over to Jalen Johnson, driving it down against Josh Hart, leans in, off glass. He can't get it to go. Towns the rebound, hands it off to Brunson. Home run pass to Mikal Bridges, catches over to Anunoby in the lane, takes a bump. And that is pretty much going to wrap it up with 5 seconds to go. Anunoby gets fouled by CJ McCollum, and Mikal Bridges immediately hands up in the air. He wants a flagrant. McCollum did not give Anunoby an opportunity to land after he caught it in the air off the pass. Either way, I believe it's going to be 2 free throws for the Knicks unless there's been no foul. Jalen Brunson, by the way, CJ McCollum, there's no better defense other than blocking the shot from CJ McCollum against that Jalen Brunson mid-range pull-up jumper. And it does not matter because that's what Jalen Brunson does, putting the cape on here tonight. Jalen Johnson misses the bump floater. Josh Hart celebrating the defensive stance, as he should. Instrumental in this run for all of the talk that we had about Josh Hart out of the game here tonight. He absolutely showed up when the New York Knicks needed him most in this fourth quarter. 2 huge offensive rebounds. Huge defensive stop on Jalen Johnson. 1-on-1. Jalen Johnson, all-star Jalen Johnson, first-time all-star. Averaging nearly a triple-double. And Josh Hart stands him up 1-on-1, forces the tough shot, and forces the miss. And it's been a playoff type of atmosphere, and the Knicks are on the verge of walking away with a victory. There's 5 seconds on the clock, by the way. I know my timer ticked off. I was too busy calling the play to stop the timer again. One-man show here. But there's 5 seconds on the clock. Knicks up by 2. And the refs are taking a look at this to see if this meets the criteria of a flagrant. McCollum does not really make a play on the ball. He just kind of runs through OG Anunoby, who catches the ball. I don't think the Knicks are in the bonus, so either way, the Hawks are going to go for a steal and look to foul unless this is called a flagrant. Russell Field said Knicks basketball, though, they will have the basketball back regardless. Randy said, great call. Appreciate you, Randy. Appreciate you. J Fly. Upset that the Knicks are up by 2 right now. Appreciate you, J Fly. Appreciate you, brother. Keenan Hart said Josh Hart had 4 huge plays down the stretch. Yes, indeed, he did, Keenan Hart. And this is why I can never be a coach. Because I'd have Josh Hart's bum self up on the bench with the way he played for the most part tonight. But absolutely huge defensively here. No flagrant foul. And they say he was in the act of shooting, so 2 free throws for OG Anunoby anyway. They weren't in the bonus, but they're going to give him 2 free throws. Isaiah Garner said, hope it's a flagrant. It is not in flagrant. Not a flagrant. Just 2 free throws for OG Anunoby. You can put this out of reach. They put 4.4 seconds back on the clock, so 5.4 seconds remaining in the game. Ian Parkin said, good game, but they should not be in our class, especially at home. Especially at home? Are we talking about the Knicks perspective? Because we're in Atlanta right now, brother. Basketball is not played on paper, guys. Basketball is not played on paper. Adrian, what's up, Adrian? Adrian Kasniki, what's up, Adrian? Basketball is not played on paper. Basketball is played on the court. And Atlanta, one of the hottest teams in the league. They are absolutely. Based off how they played in the regular season. Then when he knocks down the first free throw, he's got one more coming. In the same league as any of these top-tier teams in the East. Absolutely. OG Anunoby gives the Knicks a 3-point lead, but you can put this out of reach by making it a 2-possession game and knocking down the next one to make it a 4-point game. OG Anunoby hit the first one. He hits the second one. 2 calm free throws for OG Anunoby. And New York leads by 4. Zane said, JB 11 for 26. Fix that, my boy. Yeah, Jalen Brunson 11 for 26 from the field. He ends up with 28 points, but he came through in the second half. Also, 13 assists for Jalen Brunson. Absolutely spectacular night overall. Despite the shot not going down, I think Jalen Brunson played pretty dang well. Obviously, needs to be better knocking down shots, but I don't really ever worry about Jalen Brunson's ability to make baskets, right? Like, that's what he does, so. Mark said, Joshy Poo, we love you. Shout out Big Josh, man. Absolutely incredible. Lewis said, Chevy, where are those Knicks haters? When it doesn't fit their agenda, they don't really have much to say. Jalen Brunson scored 13 points through the first 3 quarters. He had 15 points here in this fourth quarter because that's what Jalen Brunson does. That's what Jalen Brunson does. Boz, what's up, Boz? Eric C said they logged off. The agendas did not fit here tonight, so they had to log off tonight. They had to log off. Buzzer beater, ice water. OG Anunoby, man. Never in doubt with Anunoby at the foul line. Sometimes in doubt. Sometimes. Brunson guarding the inbounds. Why do we got Brunson in the game? On a defensive possession here. They get into Okongwu. They swing it out. An open 3 from McCollum. He knocks it down. 1.5 in the clock. This one's not over. And a timeout for the Knicks. This one's not over. This one's not over. Mark says, MSG Southeast in full effect. They were very, very loud Atlanta Hawks chants in the crowd tonight. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't think there's a large Knicks representation in the crowd. There obviously is generally a large Knicks representation in the crowd, because there always is when the Knicks are on the road, regardless. But it's been very majority Hawks fans chanting here tonight. Kenny McLeod said, great game, playoff vibes about it. And the Knicks needed this. The Knicks need a nice test, for sure. For sure. Hubian said, legit playoff energy? Absolutely. Absolutely. And you survived an incredible game from Alexander Walker, who just could not miss tonight. Now, he's capable, for sure, of having games like this, but he could not miss. The Knicks were in his jersey for a majority of his made threes. He really did not have a ton of open looks. And it didn't matter. Alexander Walker still went off. 36 points for him tonight. 8 made threes. Lana Mona said, how do we allow a three? Yeah, especially an open three. It's a 1-point game. The Hawks don't have a timeout. So technically what you can do is you can throw it towards your basket because you called the timeout. So the Knicks will advance the ball. They have one more timeout remaining, by the way, so if they can't really get it in, they can call another timeout. But only 1.5 on the clock. I'd throw it towards my rim, and I'd have one of my players slap at the ball. Because the Hawks don't have a timeout here. And they'd have to throw up, even if they do get possession. Brunson catches it, he gets fouled. So Brunson's at the foul line for 2 free throws. Keenar said, can they slam it on the court so it bounces way high? You can, but somebody would need to touch the ball first, obviously, for the timer to start. You can do that. You could also just kind of catch the ball and throw it up real high. But somebody, obviously on the inbound, somebody has to touch the ball on an inbound pass in order for the timer to start. So to me, I would have lobbed that over the top. And, I would have, not tried to catch the ball, just tried to slap at the ball to start the timer. There's 1.5 seconds left. They don't have enough time to, at that point, catch the ball, turn, spin, and fire a 3/4 court heave. And if you lose off of that, then maybe the basketball gods said you were supposed to lose, right? That's what I would have done, but that's just me. Instead, we're going to get Jalen Brunson at the foul line. He's going to get the padded stats. Knocks down the first free throw. He can get 30 points. A 30-point, 13-assist game for Jalen Brunson. If he knocks down this next free throw, he hit the first one. Joseph said we play Boston next. I believe they play Toronto next, and then they play Boston. We'll check the schedule in a second. Jalen Brunson goes 2 for 2 from the foul line. 30 points, 13 assists for the captain. McCollum, half-court heave. He banks it in. He banks it in. He banks it in. Game's not over yet. We got overtime. They're going to check it. They're going to check it, but he got that off on time. He banked it in. We got overtime, y'all. We got overtime. You thought this was over? You thought this was over? McCollum didn't even shoot it. He just kind of chucked it from the half-court line as he was running out of bounds at half-court. See the replay? Ooh, that's close. I thought that's closer than what I thought. They're going to have to, frame by frame this. I don't think he got it off in time. Just from this replay angle here, I don't think he got it off in time. If anything, we're going to overtime. It is what it is. Zane said this game is goated. This is insane. All right, we're going to get a better angle over here. Yep, still in his hand. It doesn't count. It does not count. The Knicks will walk away with a victory. Yep, there's the final. It does not count. He banked it in, though. He banked it in. Roosevelt said, wait, what? Explain it, Chef. So there was 1.5 seconds on the clock. Brunson knocked down both free throws. So it was a 3-point game. It's 108-105. The Atlanta Hawks didn't have a timeout, so they threw it into McCollum. The Knicks were trying not to foul. They stuck with McCollum all the way. Jalen Brunson pulled his hands back. McCollum was running towards the half-court line, took his 2 steps, and then heaved it up from half-court. And he banked the shot in, which would have tied the game and sent it into overtime. But when they went to the monitors to view it, the ball was in his hands on his fingertips with 0.1 second, or on his fingertips just as the time expired. So it does not count. And so the Knicks walk away with a 3-point victory. I wouldn't have minded some half court, man. I wouldn't have minded some overtime, man. But thankfully, the New York Knicks walk away with a victory, man. Thankfully. Bible said, I never seen so many made full court shots ever this season. Pretty good rule change. Pretty good rule change to get these guys to start shooting these half court shots again. Zane said, playoff energy for real? Absolutely. David Osh said Celtics Thursday. I thought we played the Raptors first. Let's look at the Knicks schedule. I guess we got the Celtics Thursday. Actually, before we do that, let's take a look really quickly at the box score. Mitchell Robinson was absolutely superb. Superb off the bench. 8 points, 12 rebounds, 4 of them offensive, 3 blocks, 2 steals. Oh, you guys can't see it, but he was absolutely sensational off the bench. The Natty game, absolutely, the Natty game is on. Just starting, right? Go UConn. Jordan Clarkson, 9 minutes. Did not play in the second half, or maybe played very little in the second half. 3 points for him. Landry Shamet, Deuce McBride got majority of those minutes. Only 1 point for Landry Shamet. Only took 1 3-point attempt. Not good enough. Not good enough for Landry Shamet here tonight. Deuce McBride, 6 points for him. 2 boards, 2 assists. He knocked down his first 2 threes of the night. Missed everything after that. Again, working his way back from the injury. It's gonna be a bit of a challenge to get him into playoff form moving forward, but hopefully he shows up. Jalen Brunson, 11 for 26 from the field. You knew he was going to get it going as the game went on. 13 assists, 3 turnovers, 2 steals for Jalen Brunson. Pretty nice night for JB overall. And we know that he still left some on the table. Could absolutely play better moving forward. 15 points for Mikal Bridges. He gave us what he needed to give us to get us started in the right direction, get the starters going to start the game. I also thought he played really nice defense tonight. Really good defense on Alexander Walker. He just got cooked anyway. AB said 11 for 26. 11 for 26. Listen, man, you're going up against Dyson Daniels and Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 2 absolutely incredible, with size, incredible perimeter defenders. It's going to be a tough night for Jalen Brunson to get clean shots off. And he also left some on the table by missing a couple of open ones. Josh Hart, 2 points, 5 boards, 3 assists, 2 turnovers. 2 huge offensive rebounds down the stretch for Josh Hart. My goodness, it was spectacular. He did not have a good night. Offensively, did not have a very impactful night overall, but he was absolutely sensational in that fourth quarter, especially down the clutch run there with defense on Jalen Johnson, offensive rebounding, the kickouts, the decision-making. I thought he was spectacular in those moments and was a big reason why the Knicks were able to pull off this victory. Karl Anthony Towns, 21, 12, and 6. There's two steals and a block, by the way, for Karl Anthony Towns. There's big cities right there. I thought he was sensational tonight, 9 for 12 from the field, 2 for 4 from 3. I thought he did a great job of incorporating three-point attacks, drives, backdoor passes, playing as a hub out of the high post. I thought he did a great job. Him and Jalen Brunson playing a 2-man game tonight. It's crazy what could happen when you actually have a center guarding Karl Anthony Towns and not a wing. Hopefully we get more of that as during the playoffs. OJ Anunoby, 22 points. He was a nice third tonight. 4 for 10 from three-point range, 7 for 14 overall. Knocked down 2 huge clutch free throws down the stretch there. And he was really good. He also had a nice, big, strong rebound at the end. But again, the bench needs to be better and more consistent. Outside of Mitchell Robinson, Clarkson, Shamet, and McBride didn't provide enough, particularly in that second half. Solid defense from those guys, for sure, but still need more of an offensive punch. Speaking of a bad bench, I mean, the Atlanta Hawks tonight, only 8 points off their bench is not going to get it done come playoff time, which is why I don't think too many people are too concerned with the Atlanta Hawks in a playoff series. Onyeka Okongwu, 2 made threes. Both of them were huge, but for the most part, kind of got gamed on by Karl Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson tonight. Jalen Johnson, 21, 11, and 5 with 5 turnovers. It was a tough 21, 11, and 5 for Jalen Johnson. Josh Hart did an excellent job of guarding him when I thought it was going to be Anunoby's job, but instead it was Josh Hart. Really smart play, or really smart scheme there for Mike Brown. I really like the scheme he went with tonight. I've had issues with some of the schemes he's gone with in previous games. I thought tonight he was right on the money with a lot of his matchups. CJ McCollum, 17 points. Could have been 20, but that last half-court heave did not count. 3 boards, 6 assists for CJ McCollum. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, the man of the night, 36 points, 7 for 11 from three-point range. He was absolutely in fuego, but did not do enough for his team to pull off the victory. Just only 2 rebounds and 3 assists for him is not going to get it done. That's why there is a separation between the Alexander Walkers of the world and the Jalen Brunsons of the world. You're going to have a hot shooting night, but you still got to do all the other stuff that comes with being a go-to guy, and he just did not do that to the level that he needed to do that in order to pull off the victory for the Hawks today. Dyson Daniels snuck in there for 12 total rebounds, 6 of them being offensive. The Knicks need, as a whole, to do a better job of boxing out the guards from sneaking in there for offensive rebounds. We can't just rely on Karl Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson to save us on the glass every single night. tonight. The guards and the wings need to dig in on the boards as well. Josh Hart, Frankie Rotundo, appreciate you, Frankie. Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Jalen Brunson, Deuce McBride, Landry Shamet, all of them need to chip in here on the glass. Jonathan Kuminga, pretty quiet night. 5 points, 5 boards, 2 for 6 from the field. 0 for 4 from three-point range is a rough night for him. Mohamed Gay didn't do anything. Zachary Rizashake didn't do anything. 3 points overall on an and one play. Outside of that, didn't do anything. Tony Bradley, only 4 minutes in the first half. He didn't do anything. And Gabe Vincent, 10 minutes. He was completely invisible tonight. 2 boards, 3 assists on his stat sheet, but I don't remember a single play he made here tonight. Ian Parkin said, I wanted to see some Mo tonight. Going into the playoff run here, it is very unlikely we see any of the other guys. With Jordan Clarkson not really playing in the first half, I might, it's not a bad decision to go with Mo Diawara in the second half or try to swap in minutes between Mo Diawara, Jordan Clarkson, and Jeremy Sohan to try and find the right fit depending on the matchup. And maybe Mo Diawara would have been better for the matchup here tonight, but I thought Clarkson, for the most part, had some nice plays here tonight. Did a good job of securing a couple of rebounds on those long rebounds. He's just got a nose for the ball. And he's going to come up huge come playoff time. So I fully understand leaning towards Jordan Clarkson in the rotation here. Chiji said, did we just witness Cat and Brunson playing together? I'm telling you, after seeing them chopped it up on the bench, I knew there's no way they could not get along. Brown's been playing us all season. Here's the thing, Buzzer Beater. Here's the thing, Chichi. The reason why Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson don't necessarily get to play a two-man game very often is because most teams put their center on Josh Hart and they put a wing on Karl Anthony Towns and a wing on Jalen Brunson, right? So Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns can't play a two-man game because all teams do is switch it. And then the action is dead. They just switch the play because then a wing switches on the Brunson and a wing switches on the Towns and they're fine with either of those matchups. So ultimately what happens is either you're running an isolation play for Jalen Brunson to cook one of the wings, or you're running an isolation play for Karl Anthony Towns in the post to try and cook one of the wings, and that just gets the Knicks out of their overall ball movement, and that's when we see them start to get stagnant, and a lot of guys start standing around, and we don't see involvement from Bridges, and we don't see involvement from Anunoby, and why the ball usually ends up in Josh Hart's hands, because if they do throw the ball to Karl Anthony Towns in the post against the smaller wing off the switch, then they're just going to bring the double team over with the center, and you know who's going to be open? Josh Hart. And you know who doesn't want to shoot? Josh Hart. And so that's why that's the fundamental issue with this team. It's not that Brunson and Towns can work in tandem together. They like each other. They're on, Karl Anthony Towns is on the podcast all the time with Brunson and Hart. The issue is that they don't get to play a two-man game because the center is usually preoccupied with Josh Hart and bringing over the extra defender over to Brunson, so he has to settle for pull-up jumpers. Or Karl Anthony Towns, so he has to kick it out of being double-teamed in the post. And it takes the Knicks completely out of their offense. And that's why the conversation of pulling Josh Hart out of the lineup continues to remain true with this team. Right? It's got nothing to do with Towns and Brunson not being able to play together, or Josh Hart being a bad basketball player. It's got everything to do with maximizing the ability to play through your best players. And you don't typically get to do that with Josh Hart mucking up the offense a bit here. And it's not really his fault. It's just he's the weak link on offense. He's an inconsistent three-point shooter. He's an unconfident three-point shooter. And teams will just allow him to take a bunch of shots, right? Just that said, good job going to watch the UConn bloodbath. Yeah, I'm off to go watch that game as well. Let's just run through the rest of the league here tonight. It looks like the Cavs are up by 9 against the Grizzlies. They'll be able to pull that one off. 76ers down by 5 to the Spurs. This looks like a good, fun, close game. The Blazers taking on the Nuggets. Blazers up by 10 on the Nuggets here. And then the Magic did end up beating the Detroit Pistons tonight. The Pistons have locked up that 1 seed, so they're good. Sitting a bunch of their guys to the end of the season here. But with that being said, tomorrow's slate, we know we're watching the Celtics and the Hornets game. So that's going to be a fun one, 8 p.m. start time. So we'll be live at 7:30 for our usual pregame rundown. MTK said, Wemby injured out for the rest of the game. Ooh, that sucks. That sucks. Would be nice for the Spurs to be able to pull off that victory anyway. Hopefully. Hoping for it. Before we sign off, did that game start yet? UConn game start yet? Right. 9:30 was, or 8:30 was supposed to start. I went back to the NBA. No. It's 29-33 at halftime? 4-point game at halftime? All right. Second half, here we come. With that being said, I appreciate everybody for coming out tonight. Shout out my guy AP with his very generous super chat here tonight. And shout out all of our channel members, whether you were gifted a membership or you decided to become a member all on your own. I appreciate you guys nonetheless. But with that being said, we're going to sign it off right here. Let's go ahead, tune into that college game. Remember, guys, brush your teeth before bed, stay hydrated, and I'll catch you on the next one. Good night, everybody. Bye.